What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as That Midday Show. That is your girl, Adara, and I'm Sharif. And we already have people in the chat because everybody's very exuberant today because these memes be running and those profits be racking up, baby. So let's get it. We already have the OG Darwin. What's up, my man? Easy Trader. We have big Kyle Burdett in the chat. Wee Mimi, as well as Mateus Lane. We got Churon J, Stupid Bitcoin, Pitchbull, what's up, sir? Scott H, my man, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. Alex Enzo, Ike, we got even Adara, Sebastian, we got Bitcoin Trader, Naps, Derek B, Smell My Finger, no thank you. I'll pass on that. James D, Mr. Long Shorts, yes, sir, let's go. Aaron and Joanna Brewster and the OG Brad Gober. Good morning, Adara.
I am, oh, sorry, how are you doing this morning?
I'm okay. You just telling me how you're doing.
No, I mean, I was just going to say, I'm like loving these markets. Take a look at this poll here in the chat. What's your P&L today? You can put it in there. What are the options? I don't want to talk about it. I've only taken like 1.5 trades. So yeah, we can show this poll as well. Let's pull it out. Let's pull it out. Yeah, so nice look here. A lot of people saying I don't want to talk about it. Me too, because I honestly don't really have one yet. We've taken 2 trades. But yeah, I think this is a fun little poll. Definitely participate. I like the options as well there. So shout out to Fabian and Ramin, crushing it with the polls. Definitely interact, like, subscribe, hang out with us.
Oh, yeah.
I put on my Instagram making memes come true with the caption for my story of the day. So hope we will. Right now, though, I'm just taking this short on Apple. I don't like that 9 EMA curl up, so we're going to take it out at 84s. If we can get that, if not, I'll take mid 80s. I'm not picky. If we break above 187.10, I'm getting out. So the really tight scalp, I like that we had that rejection off 187. Took a small scalp off Robinhood as well. But how are you doing this fine day, Sharif?
Good. I'm going to get to the halts in a second. GameStop, AMC, both halted to the upside right now. Both up halts. Currently, though, I just had one futures trade on. This was it here. The 18.3 dip and hold. I was telling Big Kyle about it. We dipped aggressively off that 18.370 HOD on the NQ June contract. I traded the T-triple-Qs, but when we came down into the 18.3 on these here futures and we started doing the wick shimmy, we started doing the bottoming tail candles at that exactly 8,300. I'm like, okay, this looks like a dang long, and so I got in long and wet my beak there. Almost on the break of 60, we got low. Yeah, it was a decent move. Yeah. Not a bad move here. But yeah, AMC, GME, both halted to the upside, guys. Plenty of memes and small cap gappers to talk about today. Here's what I'm looking at. We'll start the lesson in a minute, but we have some stuff to take care of first. CTNT. Dang, where did this one come from? Up 265%. Did the dance here with $5, unable to reclaim that level. Alas, it is putting higher lows and trying to hold up, above that $4 area and the volume weighted average price. This one could present opportunities. It was a halter to the downside initially here at 950. I'm going to have eyes on CTNT. Let me give you the deets on it so that you don't get burned. 22 million shares done on the day today, $83 million market cap, and the float is minuscule, 2.2 million shares. Be careful with this one. It can absolutely go. But notice the deeper retracements are coming into that 20 period on the 5. Make note of that because for me, I'd want to get in at a retracement. I see some fist pumping there. So someone is printing up a storm on Apple.
I got out at 88s. As the 9 EMA moves up, so do I. I get out. I know I rely on this level a lot, but it can sometimes be helpful if it's in confluence to play trades off of. Like I said, in this case, I was initially trying to play it off the 84. That's where the 9 EMA was. If it moves, I can move with it. Got out at 88s. Took about 10 pennies. Please just punch. Let's also take a look here at Robinhood because that was another trade I played off the 9 EMA. And this was basically just a scalp. Literally sat down, saw this because I had this up on my chart. I sit down and I'm like, Sharif, I said, I'm taking this short. Took it short.
Bang.
Took slightly, not a huge position, but enough for me to, have some little wiggle room there. Took it short here below the 9 EMA. Said if we break above 40s, I get out. Got in at 35s. We didn't break below. I got out some at 27, the rest at 28, because I wanted to go get some coffee, power up for this move. I am so excited. I saw that HUMA Aristox market, so I'm gonna have to take a look at that one as well. But I think, yeah, Robinhood, if we keep bouncing off VWAP, might be a play for me. Right now, though, you know, as I said yesterday, I was gonna have to start with the man in the mirror and ask him to make a change after some trading that occurred yesterday that got me, you know, lots of fat finger moves, ended up shut down, yada, yada, yada. That's yesterday's. Today, though, we're just gonna come back fresh.
Love it.
Be slow, be dedicated. I'm so excited to be here with everybody today. Let's get it going.
BAMC, let's go, says Chilean Nightmare. Shout out to Fabian on the ones and twos. Guys, I didn't cover any large caps today. We'll get to those in a minute, but I'm not done the small caps that I want to cover here. There are others. MAXN, this one is also going 52 1/3% in the clear, and it is trying to hold up here above the 10 EMA. Forget about VWAP. Forget about that 20 period MA. This one is so strong, it's hugging the 10 and no less. Keep an eye. It's starting to put in higher lows, so starting to do that rounded bottom thing. Look for a rejection off 4 initially if it makes its way up there, and then a dip and then a bounce back up to test that 410 HOD. That's typically how these ones move, especially if there's going to be short sellers on the other side of 4 waiting to take your money. So keep that in mind. You do have a momentum in your favor, though, because this is up 53.8% on the day, and it's curling up here. So decent look for MAXN. Let me give you the deets on this one super quick here. The market cap is 200 million after the 53% move, 32 million share float. What's up? GameStop's going again, the Katina man says, and here it is. It's on the way up into 55 again. So that 47.5 holds. We started doing these wick shimmy dance into 47.5 here on GameStop. Keep your eye out for that 56 1/3. 56 1/3 is the volume weighted average price. It's been below VWAP ever since it halted down here at exactly 930. It hasn't been above the volume weighted average price. That doesn't mean it's not tradable. You saw Neil take a 6 banger on this one, and the Katina take multiple dollar bangers on AMC. So he's $1 in the money right now as we speak on GME, on AMC. On AMC, I stand corrected. Back to the high side there. Let's have a look at AMC. We just covered GME. So now AMC back above the volume weighted average price. Good momentum here, 10 1/3 incoming. Keep your eye on these wick shimmies here into that 10.5. We haven't been above 10.5 again ever since that morning drop at 9:35 when we halted down. That 10.5 has presented us with a bit of a top, local top on AMC. That gets above it. That could be a really nice squeeze. Initially, we had a bit of a double top there before the pre-market at 12 3/4, and we had that same top come in at 7:30 a.m. This one was going from like 4 a.m., guys. I mean, there was just no shortage of interest. I came in at 7:15 a.m., and I don't know how many million shares AMC had done already. So plenty of exuberance on these markets, plenty to talk about Adara as we go on into the afternoon. One more minute till the read.
I am so excited. Like I said, I'm just so bullish energy. Took this, but I am bearish on the TQs.
I like it.
I took this short here. I know, shout out to Shuri for killing that TQQ long. I'm just eating those markets up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Right now, though, I noticed we did have that little wick up into 60.10. We failed it. I said, Adara, try to go short. Really small position. Going to be getting out if we break above 60.08, so risking about 9 pennies, something I can live with. I think, though, we're going to have to live with that risk because it looks like we are pushing to the upside. Just a skosh here. Again, small position, not adding anything to it. Really just wanted to keep trying to test taking things that I like. We also do have a super chat here from Gus Phillips. GME, AMC, Clove, ones the biggest influencers are in. A little firecracker and a bob emoji. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the your 5th super chat there. 199 super chat. Shout out to Gus Phillips. CLOV, not one I'm familiar with. I'm just going to hop out of my TQs. But it looks like we are also going to have to hop over as well to this ad read.
All right, guys. We are brought to you by the one and only Blue Chew. Guys, remember the good old days when you were always ready to go? Well, those days do not have to be over. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in a convenient chewable tablet and at a fraction of the cost. Sign up now at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and you'll receive your prescription discreetly delivered to your door within days. No awkward doctor visits, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the good old USA and shipped directly to you. And we've got a special deal for you. Try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code TraderTV at the checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. Visit bluechew.com, promo code TraderTV for that deal. Shout out to the good folks there at Blue Chew. Alas, I've been looking at these here futures, and the area where I got out, Fabian, that $60 area on the TQQQs, well, it's gone. 610 is now where we're looking, and the HOD on the TQQQs is that 630 area. The equivalent area on the NQ is that 18370. So keep your eye on that. We're at that 50-point area right now on the NQ June contract, and 20 points higher is that high a day. So we'll keep an eye on both of these both of these groups, I should say, the futures and these memes. But we do have a lesson that we have to get to. I know it's very exciting. I know that there's a plethora of memes moving, but we do have to get to the lesson of the day. So let's do that. We've been talking about moving average crossovers all week. Yesterday, we kind of introduced the lesson. Today, we'll get a little bit more nuanced with the actual techniques, guys. So we're ready to go with the lesson? There we go. Traders, sharpen your pencils. Today's lesson equips you with the knowledge to choose the perfect moving averages for your crossover strategy. Remember, the right tool for the job makes all the difference. So let's get right to it. And this is an interesting one after Blue Chew. Length matters. We know moving average smooths out the price fluctuations, but did you know the chosen period, the length, significantly impacts the crossover signals? Here's why. So your short-term moving averages, like the 10-day and the 20-day, these are nimble ninjas, reacting quickly to price changes. They generate frequent crossovers. They're ideal for identifying short-term trends and potentially capturing fast-moving opportunities. However, these signals can be awfully noisy and prone to false positives during choppy markets. So you need to know the pros and cons of these shorter-term MAs. The longer-term MAs, like the 50 period and the 200 period, think of these guys as like the wise old owls, you know, offering a calmer perspective. They react slower but provide smoother signals, right? They highlight longer-term trends. While these crossovers, you know, may be less frequent, like the 50 is not going to cross the 200 as frequently as the 10 is going to cross the 20, they tend to be more reliable indicators for major trend shifts. So think about the short term as good for your entry and for scalping, and think about the long term ones for your major trends. This could be over a period of hours or days, okay? We want to kind of identify what these moving averages are for. And perfect picture here. Adara, thank you for adding this in. You get the smooth 100 MA, a little bit less smooth 50 MA, and then the noisy 20 MA there. That's kind of the picture I wanted to depict. Lots of hills and valleys on the 20, less so on the 50, and then almost nothing here, kind of just maybe a rolling fjord or something on the MA 100. So the art of combining these can get a little bit nuanced, but we're going to get into best we can here. So the beauty lies in combining these moving averages. Here are some popular strategies. There's the classic 50-day, 200-day crossover. Everybody's heard about this, or, you know, not everybody, but the people that are involved in trading. This is essentially a battle-tested approach, that 50 and that 200 combination. A golden cross on this timeline suggests to you a potential long-term uptrend, while the death cross indicates a possible downtrend. If you're wondering what this golden death cross kind of thing is, go back and have a look at yesterday's lesson. We identified that and we explained it. But just quick nuance, when the 50 period crosses over the 200 from south to north, from top to bottom, that's the golden cross, and it's signaling a bullish uptrend. Conversely, when the 50 crosses the 200 from north to south, that's bearish, and it's called the death cross, and it's suggesting to you the beginning of a downtrend. Okay, so those are your classic two. You've got the classic 50, 200 day, and then you've got some shorter term ones. This is the one we're going to get to now. The shorter term confirmation with the long term trend. right? So utilizing a shorter moving average like a 20-day for a faster entry and exit point within the trend identified by the longer one, by the 50 and the 200. And that's what I was alluding to earlier. You want to use the 10 and the 20 to get into your position, but you want to use the 50 and the 200 to identify trends. And that's the move here, okay, guys? And there's another great example of the 20 and 50-day SMA cross with support at the 200 SMA on this next slide. I'll show you in a second. Okay, so there's the 200 SMA. You get the yellow crossing over the aqua, and then you have a nice big move up. However, it does end in this November, and then that's your sell signal there. So that's your buy signal when the 20 crosses above the 50, and then your sell signal when the 20 crosses below the 50. So how do you tailor your approach? Remember, the perfect moving average length depends on your trading style and the specific asset you're trading. Is it volatile or is it not, right? You're going to need to figure that out to figure out which approach you should take. So for day traders, they typically favor the shorter term MAs. They like the 10-day, the 50-day to capture those intraday trends and frequent signals. But swing traders like the NOS boss and the like, they look at a blend. Shout out to the NOS boss. They look at a blend. They like that 20, they like the 50. They want to identify short to medium term trends while maintaining some noise reduction. So a bit of a hybrid between the longer term and the shorter term. And then the positional traders, those longer term holders, they embrace longer moving averages. They like the 50. They like the 200. They want to focus on major trend shifts and potentially hold positions for longer periods. So you got to figure out where you fit in one of these, or maybe you don't fit in any and you're a hybrid of a combination of these. So think about that, mull it over if you don't already know. And one thing I want to mention here is the multi-time frame magic. And it's not magic, but it's super important. Don't be confined to a single chart. Analyze that same asset across different time frames. Look at it at the 4-hour, look at the 1 hour, look at the half, the 15, etc. With various moving average lengths. You want to have, 50 and the 200 up on one chart, the 10 and the 20 up on another, right? This can help confirm signals and identify potential entry and exit points within a larger trend. And don't forget, guys, experimentation here is key, right? There's no magic formula. Experiment with different moving averages on paper trading accounts to see what works best for you. And remember, backtesting your strategies on historical data never hurt anybody. And definitely will do you some good and help you get acquainted with these here markets today.
I would agree that backtesting never hurts. I do think as well, even trading in the sim, something I had to go do yesterday after getting chewed up a little bit and spat out by GME. I said AMC because I'm actually in AMC right now.
Oh.
Okay, so I went long. I don't know what that sound was. That was how I feel. I went long at 70s because we were holding up 70s very well for a spell. Now, if we break below 50s, and I said 950s because that was that whole area earlier, it was also pretty clear support. Break below 950s, I am Audi, sayonara, au revoir, et cetera, but we really want to fight back here. So this is getting really stressful, really dicey, but it's just something I wanted to get involved in. I also have some other trades to talk. Okay, we're just going to get out of AMC. But yeah, I had to try. We could be bouncing up here, but I really did like that level, so I'm happy I took it. Really small size. I have no problem taking these meme stocks if I see stuff I like on them. In this case, I did like that 9 EMA hold at the time, and I liked what I was seeing on the tape. Now, or the tape in the book. Now it looks like we're bouncing back, so maybe I was a little bit premature to get out of this, but you have to do what you have to do. And also, I do want to talk about one of the trades I've been the most proud of since going live, which is this NVIDIA trade. So my first time trading NVIDIA and not NVDL since going live. And I am like so happy with what I did here. I got long, where did I get? I want to get my exact price here. Oh yeah, so I got long 905.66, got out 905.45. So we took about cool 80 pennies on this. And I got involved because I liked, we had this move up here. This is also, keep in mind, I was short the Qs, forced to get out of that short, right? So I knew the market was coming up a little bit. So I had that caveat in mind. Then I see we chop, we come to bounce here, and I said, you know what, I don't know why I wanted 905.66, but I did. And I said, Adair, if we break below 905, bye-bye. You have a small enough position that you can risk 66 pennies and you're okay with that. You're trying to make, I wanted at least 906.50. I got 906.45. I'm pleased as punch. This is really just a scalp move, small position. If I did this again, I'd probably take slightly more shares, like 1.5 times the amount of shares, so nothing huge. But just what you have, when you're going to scalp, you want a little bit more padding, a little bit more wiggle room, right, with your share size. So please this punch, currently up on the day, even with that little AMC snafu. So, and not, it wasn't even a snafu. I lost a little bit on it, right? That's how trading works sometimes. So please this punch, really excited. GME is actually kind of interesting to me here as well. I like that we had that rejection here, 54s. If we come in bounce, I could go long, but again, I would do so with a scintilla of shares. That's how I took that AMC to feel a little bit better about myself. That's what we have to do here. Shout out to Sharif for killing it with that lesson. What are you looking at right now?
I'm looking at Tesla. We put in a bit of a top at 179.50. By the way, I wanted to update you guys on the Katina Man's trade GME, right? The Katina Man shorted the top at 55 on GME on GameStop. So keep your eye on that. And if you don't know, we have another channel. I know we've got a lot of return viewers because everything's moving. We have a new channel, guys. It goes by the name of More Trader TV. And the beauty of this channel is you can see Sean's positions. You can see Neil's. If we got perfect. You can see everything on there. Adara gets that bad boy ready in the morning with all the headlines. We've got the tickers. So if you're not running both channels at the same time, you're not getting all the information. So there it is. It's on a separate channel called More Trader TV. Link in the description, guys. So make sure to keep an eye on that. Yeah, I'm looking at Tesla here. You know, I'm not going to jump in front of this like a crazy man, but I was looking for a possible retracement. We're getting extended on TSLA off the 10. And there was a bit, you know, we were definitely a bit more extended, $1.50 off that 10 period. The 10 period's hanging out at 178, HOD is 179.50. I figured we would have at least a retracement into the 10 period at this 178 area. We have a double top there right at the open at 178, and we also have the 10 period. So I was like, okay, this looks like a great area that magnetic pull effect that these EMAs have sometimes on the price action would come in, but I need some proof that it's showing weakness, and right now it's doing the dance with no pants right now at 179. So I'm going to pack my patience there on TSLA, but this topping tail candle, I should say, looks awfully good right now as it dances with a $0.75. The other trade that looked awfully good, but I was dropping the lesson at the time, was this VWAP retracement on the dead one Apple. 187.20, nice move up there, and then you get an inverse hammer candle as it just absolutely flushed off that level. That was a predictable area that you could have had a resting order short off of VWAP rejection. We haven't been above VWAP on Apple since 9:55, so we spent all about 25 minutes maybe there on the day. So Apple's been strong in the pre-market. It's still up 0.33% on the day, but definitely the trend not favoring along on Apple right now. Now, some other stuff that's moving here. The Amazon has been taking out all these levels, pre-market highs, 50 EMA, pivots, you name it. It's on its way, looks like, into 186. The 200 period on Amazon on the 5 is 186.06, but that's not where I'm looking, baby. I'm looking at that 186.50. That's Greensville for Amazon. And if we come back into Greensville on this name, I'll be looking short because Amazon's been a little weak lately ever since putting in those all-time highs. So 186.50, a level I'm interested in here on the Amazonian. I'm putting an alert at the $0.33 to kind of give me a heads up on Amazon there. Meta just printed day's high. So the monster Meta is, you know, still doing things. It's able to recover off this red to green move as per usual, and now it's back in the green above that 468 level. So no trades for me yet. I'll pack my patience, and I'll be looking at these memes here shortly.
Yeah, I mean, we know like Travis Scott and Drake brought us sicko mode back in 2018. What I'm trying to bring here is scalp mode. Also, there is Roaring Kitty.
Oh,
he is roaring. Shout out as well to Paul Dano for like playing him really well in that Dumb Money movie, which was a really good time. This is a very fun little animation there. I like the little orange headband. Yeah, everybody chicken tendies up, I guess, or I don't know. I'm not super familiar with.
What is that, Fabian?
Fabian's having a great time back here. Shout out to Fabian Ramin always. Also, the meme stocks I mostly have my eye on, except for that AMC trade I had, are going to be Robinhood and Beyond Meat. Had my short on Robinhood. Beyond Meat, I have a very specific area in mind for that I'm just not able to get time after time. Shout out to that song.
Time after time.
But yeah, so I want that Cyndi Lauper, that's who it was. I like that 980 area. If we had that bounce, I missed that bounce, I'm really just trying to scalp 10 pennies off this. If I can get 980 to 1010, say it with me, please, this punch. That's really what I want here. That is really the look that I am interested in. Rob EV saying, is that a bull pennant on GME ready for another pop-up tomorrow? Let's see. Okay, is this on the daily or let me see?
All right, I have to restart my system, so I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can yap a little bit here for sure. Yeah, so I think I would say let's bull pennant, but I see what you mean with that nice move up. I would say more, honestly, if anything, we have a flat bottom and lower highs. I don't want to say flat bottom break. It's GME. Rules what? Patterns who? But I do think that it is worth noting, if we want to look at patterns here for GME, which I don't know if I would, we do have slightly lower highs here and a pseudo flat bottom around this 48. But I don't know. I'm definitely ready to see what we do tomorrow. And I love this curl on the 90 MA, my fave level. I like that we have these little wicks below it. I've been watching this 5230. You know, when Sharif was talking about Apple and Tesla, I was looking at that 5230 and I said, oh, do I want it? And then it dropped and I said, no, I don't want it. But it came back and it held, and now I say, do I want it? I feel like I'm like, you know, like a little kid picking petals on the flower in the playground. She loves me not. Yeah, OMGME is just like honestly my reaction today. But if we keep being spicy around 5230, it's on my side chart. It's in my heart. It's something I would absolutely scalp. You know me. If I take anything, it's going to be a scalp here. But yeah, happy with that Nvidia scalp, making new highs of day. Not anything I have my eye on right now. The TQs though, the TQs could be something to do on the TQs. That short I tried for earlier, maybe I was a little bit premature to it. That topping tail candle, nice look.
He's short.
Oh. Kyle Burdett is short. Thank you for pointing that out. I was very confused there for a second. Kyle Burdett short the SPY, reloaded the 522 area, looking to take another 60% at my previous target. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I think, yeah, shout out to Kyle Burdett. I might be trying to take a big short here as well. And when I say big, I mean more medium to small sized. But shout out to big Kyle Burdett there, killing that short. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to take the TQQs short. That's what we want to do here. We're going to go 60.06. If we break above 60.10, basically same level that I had before, but I think at a better price this time, we're going to get out. Pardon?
The Katina man is displeased with which short, which TQ. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's joking because he's in the TQs, or he get involved in the TQs, and I said leave my stock alone. So, shout out there to Sean. Yeah, all these meme stocks has been such a fun couple days. Excited to keep taking advantage of it. Like I said, main things I'm looking at are going to be Beyond Meat, which looks like it's coming back to that area I like around 80s. If we keep bouncing, I'm going to hop on that trampoline, hopefully go above and beyond to infinity and beyond in my Beyond Meat potential trade.
Oh, wow. Oh, you're gonna do her like that? You're gonna do her like that, eh? Okay. Wow. All right. Ram is like constantly looking for action around here, and yeah, I know, right? So I'm gonna look to wet my beak here on TSLA. I'm short on Tesla at the moment. I'm short at 62s. We'll see what we get here. I just got prints on 52, so nice little 10 penny winner. We'll see if Tesla comes down. It's accumulating a little bit here in front of that 179. I'm seeing some support possibly at the $0.50. That's the truth, because that's where we peaked out last time. So if we keep going here, I'll just flatten out and then flip to the trade. But if we get weakness, I'll just follow it through. So we'll keep eyes on Tesla. Sorry, I had to restart my system, guys. So I missed a lot of these moves while I was restarting here. So keep your eye out on wow, NVIDIA. I didn't even notice that. NVIDIA just shot up into 911.91, essentially 912. Essentially, it's 9 pennies off that level. So a lot of strength coming in here on NVIDIA. And I'm seeing strength on Meta and on Amazon as well. And now the Tesla trade is about 10 pennies against me. So I'm going to have to get out of this trade if it keeps going up here, baby, because I see a hammer candle coming in here on Tesla, and that could be trouble for my short at these levels. So we'll keep an eye here on Tesla. There we go. I'll flatten out break even there. Happy with that. But we'll keep eyes on META and Amazon because they're both up into that area. I'm still looking to short Amazon at 186.50. Apple's not doing anything. Let's flip now to some of these small cappers. So it looks like AMC and GME have calmed down a little bit here. The parabolic nature that they were trading in is kind of subsided a little bit. It looks like most of these small cap gappers have all calmed down a little bit. MAXN, the range is tightening up. HOLO, the range is also tightening up. CTNT broke down now below the volume weighted average price, only up 212%. PAC B, I had eyes on this one as well. Who remembers this from the banking crisis of March 2023? This one at the 20 period. Now this one featured earlier at the 20 period, so $2.40 could be an interesting area here for PAC B. So let's get to this one. I think this is on the NQ. I'm right. Okay. So let's see if this one holds up here at the 20 period. The last time it made a move down, well, not doing anything. Look at the tape. The tape's barely moving. So even though it looks like it's a good area, I'm really not interested in punching in something so illiquid. Big Kyle Burdett. AMD watching 154 for a counter trend trade with sell side. We saw the Katina Man take AMD south today. Let's have a look at how AMD is doing. Right now, AMD is at HOD, Big Kyle. So Big Kyle looking for another 50 penny move here to get short on AMD. And what's the reason for that? Let's have a look at the 10-minute to see whether we...
It is ripping.
It is ripping, Katina Man. I mean, I have no idea why it's ripping, but 912.73 now HOD on NVIDIA. But with respect to this 154 Big Kyle short, well, I like that because that May 9th, what was May 9th? Friday? Yeah, May 9th was Friday. That was the level. So that was HOD. That was the IB high at 154 on Friday. We broke through it. No, that was Thursday, excuse me, Thursday. And then Friday, we really went parabolic there into 156 and a third. So 154, Friday's HOD. Let's see if that features. Shout out to Big Kyle. AMD up almost 2% on the day. Big Kyle looking to take that bad boy back down. But yeah, what are you looking at over there?
I kind of like that PAC B range, actually.
But there's no volume.
But you can't play it. Yeah, I was going to say if the volume was nicer, I'd probably pack my patience for some PAC B. But alas, I cannot. I took my first successful GME trade.
Wow.
And I mean, when I say successful, we're talking 20 cents, okay? I should clarify. We took 20 cents on GME.
That's still good.
But I'm really proud of what I did here. I kept saying I was watching, waiting, scalping, plotting. I sound like that Drake song for this thing at that 52 level. And then, you know, we finished the scheming, plotting, scheming, getting money, getting 20 pennies. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that there. I feel like a little bit like Roaring Kitty right now, but like less composed than that. But no, I got long that 52, tried to get out before that 52.30 because that was that area I liked. I said if we break below that 51, like 70 with any viciousness. So again, risk to reward here wasn't great, but I really wanted to take advantage of those quick price movements. So got in before I could even set a stop. We dripped a little bit, then we came right back. I said, get out, buy Adara. Highest we got here was 52.70. Didn't get that move, but honestly, I wouldn't have wanted to overstay my welcome because I get out. We pop back up, then we drop back down to around 50.50. So not a great look there. Happy I did it. Don't know if I would do it again unless, I see scalp moments I like, but trying to get into scalp moments. Bears versus Bulls, thank you so much for the support there. I remember the first time you traded AMC, LOL, before you knew about like apes. Indeed, yeah, when I first started trading apes, I didn't even know what apes were. I tried to trade a little bit of AMC right now. Currently my worst name of the day. But if we keep trying to have a little bit of a shell forming at that 950, I mentioned earlier I like 950, so that could be a little bit of a scalp opportunity for me. Much like GME, what I just did with GME here, I would be taking it with a scintilla of shares, because that's what I feel more comfortable with, taking small shares, getting in, getting out, having a risk to reward portion that makes sense for me. But again, still watching Beyond Meat, fell out of my area. Keeping an eye on these meme stocks. Thank you guys so much for the support in the chat. I'm really just trying to get more comfortable. I like scalping, so if I can scalp these meme stocks, that's what I want to do.
I like it. I'm looking to go long Tesla at 178, the 10-period EMA. I've already got my resting dip trade order at 178.05. I'm looking to defend this double top over here and the whole dollar level. So we double topped. That was after the bell, right? Yeah. We double topped at 177, high mid 80s. Okay. So you can make the argument that was a 178 rejection. And then now we're coming into it. So I'm looking to get that dip trade to defend that area. We'll see. I'm not going to give it that much room because it has to be, you know, I don't say it has to be, but it really should go right away. Anyway, keeping my eye on that. The same trade is coming in on Meta at 470. It's also retracing into the 10 period. The last time it bounced off the 10 period was 1055, and then it moved another $4. So Meta at the 10 period right now at 470 or thereabouts. That could also be another interesting trade here on strength. Tesla, Meta, both have had decent charts. Obviously, Tesla much higher percentage-wise on the day than Meta, 3 3/4. For Tesla, only 0.42 for Meta, but the charts look quite good. And the reason Tesla is up so much more is because it was running earlier in the pre-market than Meta was. Meta was quite dead. So keeping an eye on that, Meta and Tesla, neither one has triggered quite. Yeah, I haven't put my Meta out one. Let me put my Meta. So we'll get
Now we'll let you put out your Meta.
There we go. We're going to put Meta. We're going to keep eyes here on Meta because the spread on Meta is just so ridiculous at these levels. So I'm going to send it to you, Adara, while I just put in my orders.
Yeah, I mean, so I got involved in my AMC. I was watching, like I said, 50s. We held 50s. I get involved. We hold, then we drop a little bit. If as long as we stay above 35s, we're going to risk about 15 pennies here. Sorry for the excessively fast talking, even faster than my usual. But as I said, you know, I like to match the speed of the markets. And when the markets are moving at an AMC, GME type pace, unfortunately, I have to move even faster there. I think we're still below this 90 MA. This might have been a bit of a mistake on my part, but if we hold up here, I'm willing to scalp what I can scalp. I'm going to try to take 65s on this pretty small position, risking 15 pennies, trying to make at least 15, but it looks like we're going to break down here, so I may have to get out down to the downside. You know what? Yeah, I don't feel comfortable in this position anymore, so I'm going to try to get out here, because that's one thing I've learned. Shout out to DJK in the chat last week, just kind of saying, you know, if you don't feel comfortable in the position, why are you in it? Something I relate to. We're still holding up at 35s, but I do not know if AMC is my bag. I have not really had any successful attempts to trade it so far, and I have my one GME, so I really should just be sticking with levels I like. I did like these levels at AMC, especially with that 950 being a halt level. You know what I mean? So I thought that could have been interesting. It was support earlier at 8, then it was a halt. So I was like, you know, there could be something there. Alas, nothing was there. And you know, there weren't any movies for me to see at AMC, so I'm gonna have to leave the theater, unfortunately. Did not get a refund on my ticket. Happy I got out where I did though, so just trying to learn. You know, we're called How to Trade, and I think, you know, I'm always trying to learn every day, so happy to be here with everybody, trying to learn there as well. Yeah, how are you doing?
Well, nicely, we're doing good. We wet our beak already for a 20-penny winner on the dead or the monster Cybertruck Tesla here, doing decent now, 30 pennies in the money. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Tesla. So waiting for that to move up. 15 pennies in the money. Wet my beak at 20s on Meta. Meta's not as parabolic, I guess, off the 10 period as Tesla is. So we'll see if we can continue to pamp here on META and on TSLA. You know, I feel like I should be a bit more patient with these monsters, but it's just such a volatile day. You never really know exactly what you're going to get here, especially in your highs. But I do like these levels that I'm getting in at. So I'm trying to have a little bit of confidence here in my observations. So we'll see exactly what we get. I've de-risked a little bit too to kind of help calm the nerves and be able to see the trade a little bit more clear. I think Tesla is pumping up a little bit more than Meta here. Meta's coming down to that $0.75. I don't necessarily like it at these levels. I'm going to give it a bit more into the mid-50s. If mid-50s crashes, then that'll be all she wrote for META, and then we're going to have to get at a Zucky's little stock here. So we're going to continue to watch. Showing 77s. The spread's tightening up a little bit, 9 pennies. On META, do we hold, do we hold, do we get out? It really hasn't broken the 10 period with any vigor. Did I put my stop in on this? I don't think that I did, so I'm just gonna have to continue to watch it. Tesla's nicely in the money though. Meta is giving me trouble at these levels. I'm gonna put a stop for the break of the $0.50. Let's just go ahead and put that bad boy in. If it breaks at those levels. Let's go ahead and put that, and then come what may. But Tesla is just absolutely rocketing up now. We're 50 pennies in the money here on TSLA. So the Cybertruck doing well. Meta not so much. So we'll keep eyes on both these monsters.
Yeah, hopefully Meta stops playing Zuck Zuck Goose with your area. But I'm happy. Congrats for you getting them some profit out. Those are great trades. And that Cybertruck hopefully keep revving to the upside. Keep on trucking, Sharif.
Pamp it.
Keep on truck. Pamp it. I also love it as well when you like pepper the pamp into your statements. Like, hopefully we keep pamping. Zuck, zuck, goose. I did.
Bro, she's gifted, man. I'm telling you. I don't know how she comes up with this stuff every day.
Sean was like, did you say zuck, zuck, goose? Like, nods, leaves. Shout out there to Sean. Killing it. Definitely needs a little bit of a walk there after killing it in those trades this morning. Huh? Right now, I'm trying to take Amazon. I was mentioning to Andre Bourgeois in the chat earlier, apologize, probably pronounced that wrong, but I did like that 185.50 on this. We hold it as support. Then we find it as resistance. Then I was like, could it be support? We fall. I want to take it short. Kyle Burdett also pointed this one out to me. And I mean, like I said, it's the level I like all day. If it's the level I like, why am I not taking it? And the answer is there's no reason. So that's why I want to take it. Maybe a bit late to this party, but I'm trying to get a little bit less chasey. I have gone chasing waterfalls in the past. That part of my trading definitely needs some TLC. So I'm trying to be definitely more regimented in terms of just taking levels that I like, when I like them, where I like them. A large enough position I feel comfortable risking into 75s here. I said, yeah, sorry, not a large, a small enough position I feel comfortable risking 75s, but also a large enough position that I feel comfortable taking it, piecing it out there. We'll have to see. I don't know if I'm going to get my point of entry. I wanted 48s. We might be a little bit shy of that. So I like this look. Easy Trader is saying NVAX might go crazy. Eyeball, eyeball, eyeball. So let's get our two pairs of eyeballs and those three emoji pairs of eyeballs on NVAX. This is interesting. This chop and churn here around that VWAP area is kind of interesting. Could be a little bit consolidated, but for me, the way I trade, I like to have a bit clearer levels. So I don't know if this is something I would be getting involved in. Amazon, I did just get involved. Hopefully this doesn't bounce at the 90 EMA. I want to keep seeing that rejection. But again, you have to risk money to make money. You know, scared money doesn't make money. And so as a trader, you know, Sean says scared trader is a deficient trader. I am trying to be bold, trying to make some opportunities here. This might have been a mistake, but we're trying to make some market moves. Yeah, hopefully, as Cardi B said, you know, we want to be making some money moves over here. So let's see how this goes. Risking a little bit more, trying to make some moolah. I want minimum 185s. I want all the smoke. I see you exited your trade.
Yeah, I did, but I'm probably going to get back in Meta here because look, Meta is an animal. It's a monster. It can do anything at any time. So you know, it can break the 10 period and then maintain it, make it look like after the fact that it held it. Because it's a $400, it's almost a $500 name, and when it breaks something, it's going to break it by 54, 50, 60, 40 pennies, whatever it is, and push me out with my stop, because I did get stopped out on the break of the $0.50. I'm still profitable on it because I took out the majority of the position quickly through the break of 470, but I did get stopped out for a loss on the last little part. The trade that I'm really happy about is this Tesla trade. We take that 178 dip and rip, and we wet our beak there at mid-60s. So that was a good 60 penny winner there on TSLA. But there, I don't think the jig is up on Tesla. It's holding the 10 period, that higher low, higher high kind of pattern is still in play, even though you've had, you know, these shorter periods of retracements. Compare the periods of retracements to the periods of up move. Definitely the up move outweigh the areas of the retracements. Shout out to Big Kyle Burdett though, because he was telling everybody in the chat that he was going short on Amazon, and that's a great look, Kyle, because you printed nicely on there. I think you're 60 some odd pennies in the money. I was looking a little bit higher than you were looking on Amazon. I was looking at that 186.50. I wanted it to go back into that break-even territory before I punch short. So far, it hasn't made its way up there. It can't even make it back into the 200 period moving average. But I see what you were looking at. You saw the whole dollar level, I'm assuming, at 186. You saw that 185.96 HOD touch, and then another candle that was red after that.
We've got to halt an AMC. Thank you, Fabian, for bringing that to my attention.
Sounds good. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So we just had a halt in AMC here to the down. Yeah, so currently tap on this, 868, worth noting here. So, yeah, looks like a halt on our pal AMP, as people sometimes say. So yeah, definitely struggling below VWAP there on AMC. Interesting as well, where this 868 is, around where we have that little pre-market pop.
Absolutely.
So this actually could be an interesting level. Not one I'm going to get involved with, but we wanted to put that out there. Thank you so much to Fabian for pointing that out. To quote DVDR43 in the chat, AMC, but in all seriousness, hopefully everyone is managing their positions okay in this. We do want to make sure everybody's all good in the hood. And that reminds me, actually, how is Robinhood doing? But yeah, sorry, what were you?
Yeah, no, it's
sorry
okay.
to interrupt you there.
Yeah, no, you know that. When the more important stuff, interrupt away. Guys, NVIDIA's been doing the dance with the 10 period. And it's been doing that dance since essentially 10:35 this morning. Every single closing print on the 5-minute chart subsequent to 10:20 has closed above the 10 period. Sure, you've wicked below it, but never on a closing basis. And you just got another wick right there at that 907 print. And then bang up it goes right back into that 908 mid 80s. So that's a $1.80 winner super, super quick. Anyway, I want to point that out to you guys. The 10 EMA on the 5-minute chart, an absolute magnetic hold and bounce for NVDA here as it looks to try to maintain that 900 level on the day. So keep eyes on that bad boy. I don't really have any trades on these Mag 7 names, but I am liking this level on Softy. So the soft one here coming into that 413.5, and yes, that is the volume weighted average price. So last time we were at this level, generally, this 413.25 is the level I'm looking at a little bit more. This was a peak right after the bell. We couldn't break through that. So this is a nice crest there off which we can base a level of support, formerly resistance. But we do have VWAP about 25 pennies above that level, so I'm more inclined to try to play VWAP. Now, if I play VWAP and it breaks below the $0.25 level, I'll be definitely looking to put my stop below that $0.25 level. So Microsoft at the volume weighted average price, look for a possible hold at this level. I'm not going to have a resting order to get triggered. I'll need proof that it's going to use it as that level of support and then curl back around, get it on the back end, as my friend Neil likes to say. New 5-minute candle just generated here. So let's see how this one does. It already made a newer low, so that's not a good look. But anyway, Softy at VWAP, let's see what it brings. Meta has now broken down decidedly below that 10 period. And now let's see if we get a 20 period retracement and pop. So the 20 period, Adara, is at that 468 2/3. We haven't made it quite down there yet. Let's see if we make it down there, number one. Number two, does it hold that level as an area of support? I could definitely be persuaded to get long. And this is a nice little range here. Look at these tops. I love when the tops conflate with the moving averages.
May I say as well, I feel like you've become the meta whisperer. Like, you traded meta so well. You had that great short yesterday on meta. Today, you got out of meta before that sloopy to the downside, and now you're like, I'm going to play that again. And meta's a hard name to trade. That spreada on meta.
Spreada.
It could be better. I'll put it that way. It could certainly be better. But yeah, that's what I trade yesterday in the sim to okay-ish effect minus a fat finger.
Yeah.
But it's one that like my rule with meta, and I mean my rule with all stocks is you want to feel confident in it, but especially with the spread in meta, I have to be like literally heart-throbbing, like wanting more than anything to get into that trade. So if I don't have meta, I just don't trade meta. But so that's a good one to look at. I would have like meta whispering powers like Sharif over here, okay?
I don't have
But it's one I'll keep an eye on. Also, I'm 50 pennies in the money in Amazon.
What?
I took part of 2/3 of the trade here out at 185. I said I wanted 185, and I'm so proud of myself. I almost got out 185.30, and I said, Adara, that's not what you said you wanted. You said you wanted 185. So I got out 2/3, 185. If we stay below VWAP, or to stay below this 185 area, I'm going to keep my last third in. It's a scintilla of shares now at this point. But I mean, I know it's kind of crazy, but if we can get 184.50, I'll take it. Right? That's that dip below in here. So this was one I've been mentioning earlier today. I did like that 185.50 area. I mentioned that to Andre Borgia in the chat. But showed it to Kyle Burdett, who actually pointed out, hey, Amazon's a good look right now. Because I had forgotten Amazon, even though I did have levels I liked on it. And my thing is always, I always appreciate when people in the chat will point out stocks to us, because you're not going to take everything you see, right? But if you see something you like and you have your own personal reason for getting involved, then I think it's worth getting involved. When I saw this, and around when I saw it, when Kyle pointed it out, it was at that level I liked. I said, Adara, you're going to kick yourself if you don't get involved. So I did. I don't love how we're holding 184.90s right now, so that might be a little bit of a moment for me. But please just punch. And thank you again to Kyle Burdett. I love our community, and it's so fun to be part of.
While you were dropping hot lines, I just took 50 pennies on Meta. Like right away, I love the 20 period moving average dip. It conflates with the price action. No, for real though. I mean, I love this kind of setup because we look for confirmations. Every time we do a lesson, we always include look for confirmation stuff. I was about to use a different word, but that's okay. And really though, we do mean it. And I guess, doing all these lessons every day, you always look for confirmation. That's what I was looking for here. Price action top, 468 2/3, 20 period moving average, 468 2/3, put the dip Took 50 pennies as quick as they would come. I'm happy about this trade. Now 2 for 3 on META, looking for a possible move back up above 470, and I could definitely be persuaded to get back into this monster. META for another high day touch, 471.50 on Meta. I want to mention something else here, that the Amazon just touched VWAP. So shout out to Adara, shout out to Big Kyle Burdett for that short off 186. But here it is, 188.83, I believe, is the volume weighted average price on the Amazonian. So look for support at these here areas. It doesn't have to come in, but it could. We did get a double bottom off VWAP earlier around 10:30 and at 10:40. Both came into VWAP, both bounced, but we'll see if this time presents us with a bit of a different look. The monster, Tesla, well, usually I call the NVIDIA the monster now. The Cybertruck, Adara, came in to 178, so it looks like it was respecting the whole dollar level here because we didn't get a break of 178 rather than respecting the 10 period. The closing prints are all north of the 10 period, but the wicks come off into 178, and there it goes, right back into that $0.75 level. Tesla, the big cap, I was going to call it the mega cap meme stock, baby. Mega cap meme stock. TSLA looking to touch high days at 179.50. It's less than $1 off those tops. Good look there. Let's flip to some memes. Speaking of memes, AMC right above that $9 level again. What was that level you were telling me about AMC? That
950.
950.
I don't know if it means anything, but I like 950 on AMC.
950. Let's have a look at that level. Yes, I do like that level. How about this level over here? From was this a pre? Yeah, that was a pre double top. 875. Yeah, 860. General area. I don't know. I don't know what to make of these. I think we're in a bit of a downtrend, especially since this double top. I can't stop looking at that double top at 12 3/4. And since that double top has come into play, I'm sure you guys have noticed it's been lower lows and lower highs. That doesn't mean that there's not scalping opportunities available. We got the scalper extraordinaire to my left here, so we'll definitely have some scalping. We'll see if we get some on these memes. What else is moving here? Let's bring in the meme watch list, baby. So here's the meme watch list. We got the memes up here. Let's see what's moving. What's KOSS up to? What's it doing at the moment? Let's flip to the 1 minute and have a micro look at these monsters. All right, so KOSS is doing the dance with no pants with VWAP. A little bit above, a little bit below. It's reclaimed it now. Keep your eye on this range here. It's a bit of a wider range on costs, with say 570 to the bottom and then about 670 to the top, give or take. So decent look on cost if you want to range trade a meme. That's your call there. Donald John Trump is also up 5% above VWAP. Good look there. VinFast down 5 1/4. Tough look for them. Vana hasn't been doing much. It's a $120 stock, so I don't know if I'd call this a meme. It's $24 billion market cap. Oh, my God.
Actually?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. AMC and GME we've covered. Let's have a look at some of these EVs. Plug Power. Wow, Plug gave back half the move already, Neil. What? Okay, so Neil's like SPWR. We all saw what SunPower did in the pre today. Let's load up that bad boy and see what's going on with that. Let me just adjust my set screen over here. I see you, Manuel Palma. He's talking about Hood. We'll look at Hood in 1 sec, Manuel. Let's have a look at what SPWR is doing, especially since this one's not doing anything. SPWR, SunPower, what are we doing here? Okay, we've reclaimed VWAP again, so some of these memes coming back in to tradable areas. Look, I mean, I always say I don't like to trade these small cap gappers below VWAP, but I think the memes warrant different rules, to be quite honest with you. Higher highs, higher lows ever since putting in that bottom at 935. So a nice upward channel now for SWPR, recovering off that 750 double top and crash. Decent move here for SPWR. Look at this channel. It's decent. It's proving itself.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's an upward channel, so I don't know how you play that exactly, but something to keep an ay on.
Yeah, I'm also keeping my eye on Amazon, and this has been, honestly, Bears versus Bulls will sometimes put in the chat patience, like with a PAY, patience pays. And honestly, I have been so patient in this, and it has been really difficult. I said to myself, if Amazon breaks above 185 with the viciousness, that's where I'll take my money. We tried a couple times, and Amazon was like, I'd rather not. And I'm like, you know what? Amazon, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to try to get out around 45s. because I do like that little shelf area as like, somewhere I want to be out by. Also, thank you so much to Kyle Burdett for the $5 super chat, tagging me saying, Amazon, pay that lady her money, said like the Russian in Rounders. I do not know that reference, unfortunately, but thank you so much, Kyle Burdett, for the super chat. And yeah, Amazon, if you want to take that little message from Kyle Burdett in mind and drop down a little bit more, I'd appreciate that as well. Thank you so much, Kyle, for the super chat, and thank you for that tip on Amazon as well. Like I always said, I love, it's great that we can have advice from other people too, and it's, as long as you have levels you like on the chart, then get involved. And I did love that 185.50 level, so very happy it came to fruition and I was able to take it there. Shout out to you as well, Kyle Burdett, for making that big money on AMZN. Also, for the person, someone mentioned Beyond Meat in the chat. I have thoughts on Beyond Meat, so I can share them. I was saying earlier, I like that 980 initially that held pretty well around the 90 EMA, kind of gave it up. We are holding VWAP pretty nicely as well, and I like that little candle. We come to 960, go to the downside, get bought right back up. We're still below the 90 EMA though. I think if we break back above 980, then that could be the true VWAP bounce, but we have at kind of lower highs here, so that could be an interesting look. Robinhood as well, mentioned by Manuel Palma. I had a baby Robinhood scalp, and the reason I stopped scalping this is because I said, Dara, this looks like one of Sharif's VWAP bounce type plays, even though it's not a Robinhood. So I said, Dara, take your short and go get your chai tea and Sharif's water and come back. And that's what I did here. But right now, I see what you mean, Manuel Palma. We keep getting these wicks down to VWAP that are getting bought up. Kind of a similar look to Beyond Meat, but I actually think this is stronger because I think A, kind of above, sitting pretty on the 90 EMA right now, and be a little bit more chop and churn. So I think this could actually be a little bit of a compression pattern, getting ready to get that bow and arrow to the upside there. Yeah, nice look there for HOOD. I think it's in VWAP's neighborhood right now, so hopefully you're able to print on that. AMZN popping back up into 185s. Should have taken some profits at that 184.60, but right now, we're ready to take profits on. Neil's lesson of the day.
All right, let's go.
Here comes your lesson of the day today. Hey man, the meme stocks have been moving, so we're gonna go with something that applied to today, but it doesn't have to be something you trade only when the meme stocks are going. I'm talking about a non-traditional pairs trade. This is not some robot algorithm where you go long one thing, short another at every single moment and you're just sort of arbitraging. I'm talking about using one stock as an indicator and another stock to express the trades. Now, this can apply in any situation where you can find two things that are either going to move together for a legitimate reason, maybe a couple names in the weed space, maybe a couple of meme stocks like a GameStop and an AMC, maybe it's a couple of chip names, or you might have a situation where one is going to move opposed. In this particular case, I want to talk about things moving together. So do they have a reason to move together? Have they done that in the past? If you can find those two things, then you've got yourself an idea. Where I like to take it a step further is if I'm going to trade using one individual equity that's going as my leading indicator and then execute on the other, I want there to be some relative strength or weakness in the thing that I'm trading. So an example might be when I did this over in the cannabis space, it could be Tilray's moving CGC stronger. If I see Tilray break, I go long in CGC. Or I used to love a situation where one of them would start pulling back and then I would only ever short Sundial because Sundial was the weaker in the group. So if you can find something along those lines, then you can dig yourself into a trade. Today, a lot of people would have been trying to go into GameStop and AMC as if they're going to start moving together. And I understand there was some sort of confluence there that you could have worked yourself into. The charts are very similar, but the reason why I was never going to do that, and we can come to the charts now, is the halts change everything. You have halt down, halt up, another halt up, and a halt down, and then the same thing happening in AMC. If they're not actually open together, then it's difficult for you to execute trades. And that's the reason that I stayed away from using them as a pair. What I ended up going to was something that fit the bill perfectly for me. Another meme stock that was generally speaking following them, meaning it started going when the others were going yesterday. It's part of the old meme craze from before. And on top of that, relative strength in things like GameStop yesterday was not met by the same strength in BlackBerry. So it has a reason to follow. It wasn't going nearly the percentage moves that the others were going, so I knew which direction I wanted to take it, meaning any weakness over in GameStop, and I'm going short into BlackBerry. And I know it's going to seem like, well, how do you know to get in at all these different points? Right at the open, this is 9:30 when GameStop halts. All you need is some kind of a catalyst to go short. Now, it can be a break of a key level. It could be some kind of I like a moving average setup on GameStop, and when it breaks that, I express the trade over in BlackBerry. It could be breaking VWAP. It's whatever you happen to like. Because GameStop was halting, once it halted and was breaking this support level, I didn't care where BlackBerry was. I'm getting into the short because that's my leading indicator. It was an easy short on the halt. It reopened. When it reopens, it couldn't take a new high. I actually shorted BlackBerry again. Then you have this move up where it comes back into the same halt price. So halts up, opens back up, GameStop tries to get into 57 another time. Am I shorting BlackBerry at the same price? No, I'm actually shorting it lower. It just happens to be in front of VWAP. But I'm using that as my entry point. Again, all of these little wicks where it's rejecting underneath 57, every time it rejects on BlackBerry, on GameStop, I'm taking this trade in BlackBerry seconds after it's already rejected and pulled back $1 in GameStop. So yeah, you could be trying to short GameStop in here, but I don't know if it's going to break higher. I just see it make a lower high, and I can jump into the scalp short. I'm just reading and reacting, looking at one chart in level 2, and then reacting on the other a split second later. That way I'm not exposed to GameStop flying up crazy high. I just need to see it show the same resistance it did before. It was already doing it. Shows me the resistance and pulls back. I have plenty of time to get short the other name. Getting GameStop in here on these moves, it's already gone a couple of dollars. You can do it. But sometimes it's just easier to make that sympathy play. And this is not something that only works when you're trading in meme stocks. As I said, when the cannabis names were going, this was something that was successful trading CGC and Sundial. But what's very important about this is you need to have extra volume. This is not about trading AMD necessarily against NVIDIA or something along those lines. You want some outsized movement where the volatility is 3, 5x, volume is 5, 10x, that kind of craziness. Then you can start to look for that type of a trade. At the end of the day, it's not always the hardest. The hardest trades are the most satisfying. But sometimes the more simple trade, in this particular case, I mean, give me a break. This was never trending up. It wasn't as strong. BlackBerry doesn't have as many reasons to squeeze. The short float isn't as big. All of those things make it easy to be weaker than GameStop. So you're not as fearful of the other end of it. And you can be a split second late just reading and reacting, which I love to do. It's a heck of a lot more simple to trade something when you have a leading indicator. You're not always going to have it, but on these types of days, with these types of moves, you're going to find multiple names that are going, and if they are following each other, you want to take advantage of it. So just to review, your lesson of the day is not necessarily a normal pairs trade. I'm talking about a special pair trade. It can be meme stocks together, find two things that are moving in a similar direction, find one that has either relative strength or relative weakness, and then if it's relatively strong, you want to look for longs. When the leading name is starting to go to the upside, you want to look for shorts. If you see breakdowns, if you see levels of resistance, then you just see it happen in one, you punch it in the other, but you've got to identify it first. It's simple with GameStop and BlackBerry. It's simple sometimes when you have those cannabis names. That's your lesson of the day. Take advantage of it when things are moving together.
Thank you very much, Neil. Sound advice, excellent as always. Thank you very much, Neil Roberts, dropping hotlines every day, guys, around noon hour. Neil's lesson of the day. Make sure you're around for it. So shout out to him. I also want to shout out Big Kyle Burdett. Here is what he sent me, Ram. And these are his shorts on the SPY. Fantastic look for Big Kyle there. Way to defend those levels, Big Kyle. Obviously the entries here on the short and the covers there on the yellow triangle. So shout out Big Kyle Burdett, killing it on the future as always. Keep your eye out on his levels. He's always there in the chat. You'll notice because his name is Kyle Burdett.
And Sharif will say Big Kyle Burdett as well.
All the time. All right, here we go. Let's talk about some of these names. because we got some retracements while Neil was dropping hot lines. Okay, so I like two specific looks here. I like this meta 20 period bounce. We're doing the wick shimmy into that 20 period. It's not just the 20 period that's got me interested in this level. I do like it because of this crest that we put out here right at 1020 and 1025 and then retrace back down to the 10. We've broken down to the 10 though, trying to hold above the 20 in that 469, 468.5 general area. So that is one look I'm looking at there. Whoa, that was okay. And the other look I'm looking at is TSLA. It also retraced back down into the 20 period and finding some support. And it also has price action support with these two double tops. These are a little earlier than the ones put in on Meta. These are right from the bell, from 9:30 and 9:50. So looking for possible support here on the Cybertruck as in the kind of the same way that I'm looking for that support on Meta. We'll have to see if it comes in. If it doesn't, then we won't trade it. Simple as that. Apple has been doing nothing. Go ahead.
Sorry,
go
yeah,
ahead.
we got this halt in AMC here, but also, yeah, we're halting tap 804 right now. So just continuing, this one continuing, despite that level we were both talking about around 950, then around 860, 875, continuing to fall to the downside. Also, Oracle. ORCL, there is a story on this guy.
Okay.
Musk's XAI nears $10 billion deal to rent Oracle's AI servers, which, I mean, how could that be a bad thing for Mr. Oracle? Can't see the future, but it's certainly seeing a lot of upside right now.
Damn, girl.
Oh. No way. Yeah, I mean, that's what Oracle's saying right now, too, about Musk is like, okay, 10 billion. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So nice look there for ORCL. We'll have to see what this kind of settles into. I think it'll be interesting. Not saying that we will, but if we do come back to that 117, that'd be an area I'd be watching. Look at that wick up earlier that we failed. Then we had that high earlier at 117. I think 117 could be an area. Again, I can't see the future, but I can see past price action. We'll have to see if Oracle can use its little crystal ball, give us a level here at that 117 area thereabouts. Were you there that day that someone asked Fetcher Powell if he could use a crystal ball to see one thing in the future, what he would choose? That was Opie and I that day.
What did he say again?
So the person was like, oh, so Fetcher Powell, do you mind, like, if you could get a crystal ball and see one thing in the future, what would you say? And Powell was like, well, I wouldn't just want to say one thing.
What?
I'm like, well, if you could. Like, the guy kept pressing it. I don't even remember what he said. It was just funny. But yeah, so I can't think of like oracles or crystal balls now without thinking about that.
Oh,
Oracle,
I see. That's
trying
Oracle.
to come back. That's where
Got it.
There. Yeah, really roundabout. Oracle trying to bounce here at 119. 119, I said 117, but 119 could start getting spicy here for our pal ORCL. I am not getting involved in this until I see, you know, some kind of something. Microsoft's trying to curl up a little bit here. This is actually kind of ooh. And we have it as well happening around that chop and turn at 413.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Okay, I got into NVDL. I'm liking this NVDA retracement into the 20 and a drop and hold. Let's see if that 20 period on the 5 on NVDA holds up. I'm long NVDL, looking to wet my beak at 82s, and there it is, baby. As NVDA holds up at the 20 period. Look, guys, I'm going to keep saying this, and I don't care how much of a broken record I sound, but it's my observation, and I'm sticking to it. When a stock is trending, like say up and to the right or down and to the right, the more superficial retracements in my observation of things come into the 10 period on the 5. The deeper retracements seem to come into the 20 period on the 5. I've been trading that way for a few weeks and it's been doing well. So there goes NVDA up into the high side as a result of that 20 period on the 5 retracement. Let's see if we can get a 910 touch. We just got a 909 and a quarter touch on NVDA. So if we can continue here, possibly touch high days, that'd just be aces. The other thing that I want to talk about, this META trade, again, also featuring off the 20 period, a deeper retracement, all hold up at the 20 period, and there you go, you're $1 plus in the money now off that 20 period retracement as it knocks on the door of 470 again. The beauty about this one is it had actual price action support at the 20 period. You love when that happens, at least I do. The one that isn't really featuring as nicely off the 20 period as one would like is the Cybertruck. TSLA breaking down now below the 20 period and not really holding up at these levels. We'll have to wait and see if the price action support between 177 to 177 and a third ends up holding up. We have these closing prints here from 930 all the way into 950, about 20 minutes worth of price action with tops at the closing prints coming at these levels. So TSLA, let's see if this bad boy holds up at these levels here and then curls back up. VWAP on Tesla, though, just a skosh below 177 at about 176.80-ish, 75-ish, or thereabouts. Man, Apple's done bupkis since that bell. Look at what it's doing. It's done nothing. I mean, it had one super quick retracement into VWAP, and then it just tanked back down. So Apple is a hell of a range today with 187 acting as a top to the high side. Now, the thing about the downside is you're getting incrementally higher lows. So essentially, the first time around, you went into that break-even point at 186.29. That's LOD at the moment. You bounced right off that. And then on the second decline here at 1140, it's a little bit higher. It's not at 186.30 anymore, it's at 186.50. So that 187 flat top break, you know, could come if we start seeing incrementally higher lows. Anyway, 187 as a top now if you want to play a range, something a bit, yeah, 187, Katina, man, I know it's an ominous number, but it always happens. Yeah, like 666s. So anyway, 187, a range play on AAPL for whoever's interested in a more calmer trade. Don't at me if it goes wrong.
I've been trading it, and it is actually viable.
You good?
I've been taking the Apple range. So, you know, as Sharif sometimes calls them Madeira Panera ranges, what is worth noting as well, though, is you're not, as Sharif noted, you're not really getting consistent highs and lows. You have that sort of 187 top, but you have slightly higher lows accompanying that, right? So how I've been playing it is I've really been watching what we do. I've been waiting for those drops. I've been taking like maximum 10, 15 pennies. If you want a big trade, as Sharif kind of alluded to, this is not going to be your trade. You're going to be taking these smaller moves. Also, though, another baby range for me, I got out of Amazon. I mentioned this earlier. I didn't end up staying too long here. We broke above that 185 decisively, and I said that was going to be my out, so I got out. Got back in the short, though, for scalp purposes, because I did notice we were ducking below that 90 EMA quite nicely. Risking about 20 pennies. If we break into like 37s, 38s, that's where I'm going to have to say sayonara. I want to take about 10 pennies with that, 20 pennies with half the position around 185s. Then I'm saving pieces for dreams. I don't like how we're topping and turning here below the 90 EMA. So I might have to get out of this a little bit earlier than intended because, again, shout out to, I don't know if you're here, but I believe it was DJK in the chat saying last week, because I was saying, oh, I don't know how I feel about this trade. And he was in the, like, you know, if you don't feel comfortable in the trade, get out. That's something I agree with, and that's an ethos I'm trying to live with a little bit better. So we're going to have to wait and see how we do right now. But right now, for me, Amazon is the scalp. To be clear, no regrets. Shout out to Opie and We're the Millers. I don't regret getting out of this earlier. That wasn't my play. Right now, my play on this is actively scalp, so that is why I'm actively scalping it. I just want to clarify. Shout out to Kyle Burdett. Don't know if you're still in this trade, but that short has been very fruitful, and this has been a fun one. Happy initially, I played it off that level I really loved, which is that 185.40. Oh, sorry, 185.50. But now as things switch up, I have to switch up with these markets. Markets punch, I punch back. Did you get your 910s? Nvidia's trying to give you your 910s.
Oh, I got them.
Nice.
Oh, no. Well, I got the initial beak wetter.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that second beak wetter because we're trading NVDL instead of NVDA and that. So, you know, sometimes it doesn't translate into exact levels. But, guys, I need to mention this. Faraday Futures is in a full state of PAMP. FFIE, I got to put this on the side chart here. It's going to go with memes because the percentage update will not show up on the chart unless I have it up here. There we go, 275.77, 82, because it keeps changing on me, percent HOD essentially, coming into that $250 area on Faraday Futures. I talked to Randy about this earlier. He's like, yeah, too bad the car is 100,000. But anyway, it's moving nicely here. Beautiful, beautiful rounded bottom off the volume weighted average price. This has everything next to it. The only reason I didn't have eyes on it is because it's 24 pennies and I have a minimum 85 pennies limit on my scanner, so I didn't have eyes on this. Keep your eye on FFIE if you're not averse to trading these penny stocks. The other one, not penny, it goes by the ticker MTC. I see you, Y brothers. I told you I'd cover it. MTC, a cool 61% HOD on the day. And look at that 10-period hug. That magnetic effect that the OB, the Knob always talks about. This is it personified here. I mean, like, look at this. Every single dip into the 10-period has been bought up. We haven't even had a 20-period retracement since 10:30. And yeah, it did retrace into the 20. I love it. I love it. So this one headed to the high side here, looking for $8 on MTC, a cool 60% up on the day. Let me give you the deets on this monster. It's now the number one name on my gap scanner. 60%, $1.5 billion market cap. The volume, a little suspect, though, I got to tell you the truth. Less than 1 million shares trade on the day, 883,000. The float, 198 million. It's quite large. Let me give you the short float on it. MTC, shout out to Trade Ideas, negligible short float, only about 0.35% of the float is shorted. Tanking now off that 784, coming into that 740. Look for price action support over here. This is a flat top, guys. This was a flat top breakout at 710, 711, whatever. Shout out to Winnipeg, 711, capital of Canada. Right? But this is a flat top breakout, ascending wedge using the higher lows as the 10-period. And so look for that 710, 712 to act as support if it comes back into those levels. MTC, now the number one name on my gap scanner. Good move up here alongside Faraday Futures.
Yeah, I should have. I was just going to be like, maybe I want shorts on Beyond Meat, and then Beyond Meat drops about 6 pennies. I'm like, cool, you do your thing, 21. If you don't want me to be a part of that, that's fine. Happy the 7-Eleven capital of Canada there, Winnipeg. 7-Eleven looking there for that trade. We have Jesus Cabrera, 199 super chat. Thank you so much. When is the Google conference happening? AMD. I can answer both those things for you. First answer, we have Sundar Pichai set to speak at 1 p.m. for the keynote. So that's when Sundar Pichai will be taking the mic. I'll get that all queued up. I have my earpiece working now, so I can be able to hopefully hear that and see the hotlines dropping. Also, Jesus Cabrera mentioning AMD. Ooh. AMD. A nice look. I like that 9 EMA hold. This is a Sharif. You know, you called it a Dara Panera trade, so we have to find a name for this. I don't know if the Sharif Sheriff trade. I don't know. But this kind of 9 EMA hold is an interesting one. I know you play these to great effect, so I want to wait and see. Right now, though, we're actually rejecting off the 9 EMA. AMD tumbling a little bit. Generally, though, really high. I would love to see us continue to bounce off that 152.40, which we did do earlier today. That was that pop that we got around 10:30, so this could be a nice look. Definitely not an AM disaster. I want to see if we have more AM diesel in this tank to the upside. That was a quick save on my part. But you know what? We always appreciate the lesson of the day. Shout out to Sharif.
Did you want to say AM Dizzle?
AM Dizzle. Should have. AM Dizzle in the hizzle.
There we go.
Nice.
All right, guys, it's time for the lesson of the day. We are talking about moving average crossovers all week long. Today, we'll talk about choosing the right moving averages for your crossover technique. So stick with us as we get through the lesson. I know it's very exciting today and all the memes are moving, but we got to get through this here lesson. All right, guys, traders, sharpen your pencils. Today's lesson equips you with the knowledge to choose the perfect moving averages for your crossover strategy. Remember, the right tool for the job makes all the difference. And we're going to talk about moving average length, but length matters. We know moving averages smooth out price fluctuations, but did you know the chosen period significantly impacts the crossover signals? Here's why. So your short-term moving averages have a certain use and your long-terms have a different use. So let's go through the short-terms. So your short-term moving averages like the 10-day, the 20-day, you've been hearing me talk about them all day today on the 5-minute. So I hope that you have some background knowledge with respect to moving averages here. The 10-day and the 20-day. These, you can consider them as like nimble ninjas. They react quickly to the price changes intraday. They generate frequent crossovers. They're ideal for identifying short-term trends and potentially capturing fast-moving opportunities. However, they can be noisy and they are prone to false positives during choppy markets. So there's good and there's bad with these short-term MAs. Likewise with the long terms. By the long term, I'm talking about that 50 period. I'm talking about that 200 period. Some people like the 100. I don't, but I don't disrespect it. think of these as the wise old owls, right? They offer calmer perspectives, they react slower, but they provide smoother signals, right? They highlight longer term trends. That's what they're good at here. Even though they're less frequent, they tend to be more reliable indicators for major trend shifts. And here we go. This is kind of exactly how I pictured them. The 100, super smooth. It's obviously on a down tilt, down into the right, but very few peaks and valleys. When you look at the 50, which is the black one, a bit more peaks and valleys. A little bump here, a little bump there, and then you get the 20, and it's dancing every which way, right? So that's exactly what we mean by that. More action with the shorter term MAs, less action with the longer term. So how do you combine these bad boys? So the beauty really here lies in combining these different moving averages. Here are some popular strategies. The first one, the classic, the one that everybody knows about, that 50-day and that 200-day crossover. So shout out to the Katina man, that's what he's got on his charts. This is a battle-tested approach, this 50-200 look. A golden cross on this time frame suggests a potential long-term uptrend, while the death cross indicates a possible downtrend. If you don't know what those two terms are, go back to yesterday's lesson, but quickly, the 50 period crosses the 200 from down to up, from south to north. That's bullish. That's called the golden cross. Conversely, when it crosses it down from north to south, that's the death cross, and it's indicating to you possible weakness. But there's also a short-term confirmation within the long-term trend. So what is this? So in this instance, you're utilizing shorter moving average like the 20, like the 10, for faster exit and entry points within the larger trend as identified by that 50 and the 200. So you're using the 50 and 200 to identify what the trend is. Is it consolidative? Is it up? Is it down? And then you're going to use the other moving average, the shorter moving average, to weasel your way into the trade, as I like to say, okay? And here's a great example of it. You have the 200 period SMA. It provides support, and it's tilted up, indicating to you that the larger overall trend is up and to the right. And then you get in, you weasel your way into the trade once that 20 crosses the 50. It's not one of the ones that we're talking about today, but you get the idea. These moving average crossovers are good for both identifying trend and getting into the trade. So how do you tailor your approach to make it fit within your trading style? Remember, the perfect moving average length depends on your specific trading style and the asset that you're trading. You may not want to use specific moving averages with the Teslas, with the NVIDIAs that you may want to use on some of these memes or some of these small cap gappers. You got to figure that out, okay? So first and foremost, if you're a day trader, you're going to be more inclined to want to use these shorter moving averages like the 10, the 50 to capture those intraday trends and frequent signals. But if you're like the NOS boss and you're more of a swing trader, you're in a position for 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months, you're going to look for a blend. You're going to want that 20-day mixed with a 50-day. So a little bit, a little bit on the short term and a little bit on the longer term. You're trying to identify here short to medium term trends while maintaining some noise reduction. You reduce noise by using, obviously, a longer dated EMA. But there's also the positional trader or the long-term holder, as they're called. And these guys, they embrace longer moving averages. They like that 50. They like that 200. They want to focus on major trend shifts, not intraday or intra-week, right? And they potentially hold positions for a longer period. So if you fit into one of these, or if you don't fit at all and you want to create a hybrid, do your thing 21. As I've always kind of mentioned, multi-time frame confirmation is just super important in trading, and especially with moving averages. Why? Because sometimes you'll see a stock respecting the 5-minute EMA on the 10. And then on a different stock, you'll see it respecting the 10 EMA on the 15, whatever. I'm just giving you any random numbers. So you need to go through these multi-time frames to see what's in vogue today. What was in vogue yesterday might not be in vogue today, all right? So don't be confined to a single chart. Analyze that same assets across different time frames like the daily, the hourly, the half, whatever, with various moving average lengths. This can help confirm signals and identify potential entry and exit points within the larger trend. And guys, I really want to mention this. Experimentation is key here. experiment with different moving averages on paper trading accounts to figure out, what your trading style is like, what moving averages fit best with your method or with the certain assets that you trade. And remember, back testing your strategies never hurt nobody. Shout out to Adara.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I always say the sim was really helpful, helped me when I got shut down yesterday. I have something I want to talk about,
Go.
and that thing is GME. And I think I'm going to have to GameStop with GameStop. And you know what? I'm still up on the day, but we basically, I was having my best days as going live by far. We had that one trade, and unfortunately it did eat some of the low profits, but that's, you know what? You guys can keep on going. I'm still up on the day. I'm still bullish on life. I want to talk about this because honestly, sometimes you look at movements like this and all you can do is laugh. Look at me getting out basically at the bottom of that candle, and then it popped up.
I have to. You saw I've been there before with you.
Oh, right? So it's like, you know what? I like that 50-15. We're popping back into it now. I still think it was a level, but I am a scalper. I like to risk a little bit, and I like to make, not a ton, right? So maybe GME is just not going to be my cup of soup, and I have to live with that. I think that's okay. And you know what? We tried. I don't regret, to be clear. I do not regret any of the trades. Do regret that I wasn't able to get out a little bit earlier. I should have managed the risk in that way better.
Nice.
But just, we fell below 50 way too quickly for me to deal with. If there's something I like in there later, maybe it's staying on my side chart, but it's not something I'm going to be dwelling on too heavily. Because as I mentioned earlier, my big whale of the day that I'm looking for is still Beyond Meat. I don't know why I made that very evil looking face, horror movie poster face. But I said, I love this 88 area on BYND. Yep, Adara, you're doing it. You're getting involved.
Nice.
If we break, what we're gonna do, if we break below 75s, I'm out. But I do think there's a range here, and it's like, if I like a range, the heck does it matter if it's on BYND or any other stock. A range is a range is a range. BYND also moving at a little bit more of a languid pace compared to its meme stock buddy pals. So I think you do have a 39% short flow that is worth noting, but I think that there is something in the water here for me. This is not gonna be like a, piece in and out. It's gonna be, we're getting everything out. It's going to be like first thought, best thought, getting everything out here, coming at it with a viciousness. And I like this trade, and this should have been the thing I focused on beyond the GME, but you know what? I'm all smiles. That looked like a very sarcastic smile. I'm all smiles. Come on, BYND, do your thing, 21, or I guess in this case, 80s. But yeah, I like this look. Hopefully we're going to have a trade that takes us to infinity and beyond, because P&L is not really there right now, but I'm trying to trade less P&L and more what I like.
Nice.
Yeah, if I was trading on P&L, I wouldn't have been taking GameStop, so that's what you got to focus on there too. How are you doing?
I'm trying to weasel my way into Tesla. I missed my entry by 1 penny. It came down to 177.11. I was sitting at 10s. I'm looking for a VWAP hold here on the Cybertruck. I'm disappointed I didn't get filled there, but sometimes that 1 penny does make a difference, and that's the real deal. So I haven't got filled. The question I always ask myself is, Sharif, if you like the trade, if you're confident in that VWAP hold, why are you not chasing it at 27s, 28s, 29s? The Katina man's shaking his head because I know that's exactly how he thinks. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to the Katina man. He's always killing it. I'm trying to think of what I should do at this level. Yeah, I mean, this 177 hold is the real deal, in my opinion. The reason is not just because it's that VWAP, but there's price action support to mention this 177. And this is the double top over here, the crest that we came into, tanked into the 20 period, and then up we went again. How many dollars? Yeah, 3 off that area. So decent move here for the Cybertruck. It's at VWAP right now, already held it twice, now making a higher low above 177. Tesla looks like it is headed possibly to the high side here. The narrowing of the 10 and the 20, a little bit of a, I don't want to say a bad signal, but it's something to be aware of that, maybe the good times are coming to an end a little bit here. So we'll see if we get triggered on TSLA, and I'm not triggered about that. Upset. I mean, triggered my order, which is a resting order. Yeah. So we'll keep eyes on that. So TSLA not filling at the moment. But I want to read something that Jay Lee wrote, and Jay is one of the OGs in the chat. Says maybe worth mentioning this point about time frames and patterns and names of patterns. Don't let that stuff confuse you trading memes like GME, AMC, etc. The instant bid ask dictates. I tend to agree with that a little bit. Even though, Jay, I know, if I was to see an ascending wedge, the thing about an ascending wedge, Jay, is that I'm not trading it for the pattern. I'm trading it for what the pattern represents, which is buyer exuberance, overwhelming selling pressure incrementally. So every single low is a little bit higher than the previous low. And so it ends up manifesting in a pattern, but it's really reflective of what's happening on the time and sales on the book. So, sometimes we get caught up wanting to see patterns, but forget that these patterns are reflective of price action. So we'll see what we get there. Shout out to the Katina man, baby. I'm still waiting at this 177.10. We'll see if we get filled. I've mentioned Apple before. I'm going to mention it again. 187 range, and the range is getting a little bit tighter here and there.
Yeah, I was mentioning the tightness of that Apple range. Range I played twice, both winning trades, both to positive effect, but that range is like a little coily little snake. Not a lot of opportunities there for you to hop in, so just be cognizant if you are playing the Apple range. We're talking like pennies. Like I was getting like max 15 pennies on that, and even then sometimes I had to scalp it earlier because we got tighter. So that one I'm gonna give my range take. Yeah, initially I was like, oh, watch the 90 EMA. At this point, we're literally trading in between the 90 EMA, so that's a moot point. Range getting tighter and tighter. If it gets a bit gooser again, I'm gonna get involved. Beyond Meat, interestingly enough, initially.
Halting.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna go to AMC and then we'll go back to my meme child.
Yes, sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Let's take a look at that AMC halt. Oh, no levels left on this one. 7-Eleven. The tap on this is 7-Eleven. Shout out to Winnipeg. But yeah, I mean, the 90 EMA rejection, to me, that's always a level I'm going to look at. So to me, kind of a weak look there. We did fall below kind of every established level. So that is unfortunately not a great look. Hopefully everyone who's in AMC is all right there because, we always want to wish everybody the best. But hopefully no one is too trapped in that movie theater and that they will let you out there. That would always be great. But yeah, all jokes aside, hopefully everything is all good. But like I said, Beyond Meat, I'm watching mid-70s. We keep getting to 78 and bouncing a little bit. However, okay, bye-bye. Yeah, this is just, the meme stocks and I are not, it's not really meme stocking up. I did like the Beyond Meat, and I'm happy I took it. And like I said, also happy I'm not trying to trade on P&L, trying to trade on stuff I like. And honestly, if GME comes and rests on that 90 EMA and uses that as support, I'll take it.
Faraday.
Faraday.
It's just flying, Katina, man. 470%.
Ooh, pardon?
FFIE.
I could not tell you.
I know, you got too excited.
I had FFIE and then
it's insane. What is this doing? No, Ram, show the chart. I don't want to, she says. Jeez, okay, I'm sorry, Ram.
Yeah, that's...
Oh my God.
Not this crossfade, that's amazing.
Yes, that's fantastic, Ram. Leave it like that.
Lord,
that is
this thing
perfection.
Opened. We were at 6 pennies when we opened. We were at 34 pennies. Now we're falling. These meme stocks are getting memey with it. I have no words. Just trying to find some more opportunities.
Faraday just fell 100%. Yeah, it was at 460%. Now it's at 340. So yeah, guys, we really mean it when we say you have to manage risk, because if you took a big position in that when we called it out, you were 9 pennies out of the money. Obviously, on a 30 penny name, that's a lot. So keep your guys manage risk here. I know I sound like that boomer that wants to put a damper on the party, but really, if you don't have an account to trade, you don't have an account to trade. So you got to manage risk. So shout out. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. I had nothing. I got out of Beyond Meat. It was beyond where I wanted to go. I might have to get shorts in Beyond Meat at some point because I think right now it's flipping to short, and I do have some level ideas on that. I just didn't play them correctly, and when I wanted them, it was too late, but that's okay. That's all good, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. I want to trade NVIDIA, and NVIDIA actually, and I am shocked. Sorry, Amazon is my top name of the day here. NVIDIA is the second. But yeah, basically today has been a bit more of a successful day for me, and I mean that regardless of P&L, which would have been a little bit better had I not tried to take GME again and then not risk managed it properly. But basically, what I'm trying to say here with NVIDIA, or with my trading in general today, is I'm trying to get back to basics, trying to get back to stuff I like doing, which is going to be the scalps, the Mag 7 scalps. So that's what I've been trying to get better at. Also, I figured Apple as well was okay in that range. But yeah, if we keep rejecting 907, which was a huge area of support earlier, if we keep rejecting 907, I'm just going to keep scalping pops. I'll short the pop. I don't want to take this long right now, although we are forming a little bit of a crust, a little bit of an edge a little bit of a shelf, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. I really want to see what we do here. Marcelo asking if Uber wants to pump it up. Yeah, let's see.
Pump it up. You know you want to pump it up.
Oh, okay. Marcelo, I don't know if it's pamping it up. It's a little bit slower on the uptake here, but it is absolutely resting on the 9 EMA right now. And we are kind of coming to that previous area of resistance here and previous support at 65. Okay, Uber 65, not at all a bad look, Marcelo.
I love when you go back like that.
Yeah, because
it's your key move.
My signature move. We're still below the VWAP. I think if we can break above VWAP, that'd be a nice look. I'd like to see us break above VWAP, and also that 65.24 area. Not the type of trade for me because I couldn't really scalp it, or I wouldn't. You know, I'm looking more for scalps today, but I do think, Marcelo, that 65 rest is nice. I don't know if it's going to pamp it up, but I think it could make a nice little up move. Joanna Brewster saying, my 14-year-old daughter wants to know if you ever breathe. I try my best.
She
no,
breathes all the time.
I'm just having a great time over there. Pardon?
She breathes all the time. Bang on Faraday futures. We took that dip. So I want to mention why I took this trade, because it's not for no reason. This was obvious to me. This 25 penny area top, that's a crest. We talk about this in TA all the time. Resistance becomes support. Like it or not, it happens, okay? And so we dipped down right into 25. I had a resting order. I said, I'm going to take it long. I'm going to give it 3 pennies. And right up we go. Here we go onto 30s. See if we can get another print above 30. I'll flatten. We're definitely dancing with 30 as we speak. I know I'm getting excited for a 30 penny name, but that's kind of what I do. So I got excited a lot. So let's see if we can break 30 here. We already broke 30. We got to about 30 and a half. Now we're having resistance with that 10 penny level, it looks like. So I don't want to overstay my welcome on a crazy you-know-what name like this FFIE that dropped 100% in a matter of seconds. This 2 1-minute candle drop was that 100% drop. So good look here on this name. I don't want to overstay my welcome, but right now it is not continuing to the top side. So we were able to take a few pennies on this name, but right now it is encountering that resistance wall, so to speak. Let me give you the deets quickly on FFIE since I'm trading it. Here we go. So this is a $12 million market cap. Needless to say, that is minuscule. It's a lot of money for a lot of people, but for a market cap, it's not. 37 million share float. I think this one is heavily shorted. Katina, man, was
85%.
Sorry?
85%.
Are you serious?
That's what I saw this morning.
Are you serious? Wow, this is taking me back to meme days when GME was over 100%. Remember that? So here we go with 30s again. So we're going to flatten out here. I'm happy with this trade. It's probably going to run, but whatever. That's okay. Let's see what this now is. Yeah, let's see what Trade Ideas is saying about this monster. Oh my God, 86 2/3%. Guys, I should mention that Faraday reports on the 15th. So this one reports tomorrow. So Faraday futures, if you're going to trade this, Katina, man, you got to tell me this kind of stuff before I punch long. No, we're joking. Randy returned his car. When I mentioned it to Randy today, he's like, "Look, man, yeah, nice move up for Faraday, but do they have a car that's less than $100,000, right? I mean, do we have a bigger market, or sorry, a smaller market than $100,000 plus cars? I mean, just look at the Model X and Model Y, or sorry, Model X and Model S, compare the sales of those two to the Model 3 and Model Y, and you'll know exactly what I mean. So anyway, we're at a Faraday right now. Let's see if we can continue to move up a little bit.
Yeah,
The Katina man is long AMC off the halt.
Oh, Sean's long AMC off the halt. It's funny, I thought he said he was long Tesla. And I actually like this Tesla long here. I don't know. I do. I like that we're on VWAP. I want to see us break above the 9 EMA. I don't love that rejection here of 177.27, but if we can break above that, I like that look. NVIDIA, though, I'm still trying to find a good entry here. I still like this short off the 907 rejection, but I have been a little bit too scaredy cat, and honestly, that's not for nothing. Like I said, if I really see level I want to take it, but right now, I don't like that we had this little, I don't like the tail of this candle here. I think we could break above 907 now. So I want to see another 907 rejection before I get involved. Small position, just really trying to test the waters and get into it. Yeah, and I'm happy I didn't get involved here because it looks like we're going to have to pop above 907 again before we drop. If we stay below the 9 EMA, if we stay in the 907 fence and the 907 playground, I will take another short, but I don't know if that's what we're going to really be doing here. So this is something, if I take NVIDIA, A, it will be a scalp, and B, I will be watching it like a hawk. Like it's, you know, when you take your child to the playground for the first time, or when you leave the kid with the babysitter for the first time, you're calling every 2 seconds like, is the kid okay? Is he breathing? That'll be me if I take NVIDIA here. But I don't know how, I don't know, that'll be my look. Let's take a look at AMC though. For Sean's in AMC. Oh, nice little look there. Nice pop for AMP. GME is still, and this is honestly still kicking myself for this one because it, bless you, if I had had better risk management here, if I hadn't panic sold, or if I just had like, you know, given myself a little bit more room, this would have been a fine trade. It wasn't, and I'm not going to dwell on it anymore, but it's just something I wanted to reflect on. Could have probably taken that NVIDIA short, but it's something, again, like I would have wanted to do only had I been able to babysit it like crazy. It's a little bit disappointing, but it's not the end of the world, Judy Bloom. I am going to be trying to get involved here if we come back to 907.25s. I still think this is a possibility. Small position, just trying to scalp the pops, taking about $1. If we break above that 907.70 decisively, that's where I have to leave, because that was certainly that area that I thought got a little bit spicy above that 907. I did not say Tesla of the waters, DJ. I really should have said Tesla of the waters with Tesla. That's a pun I wish I had made that I hadn't made. But like I said, I still like Tesla here. If we can have some kind of support at VWAP. If we can't, it's not something I want to trade. But again, everything for me has to be Scalp City today. That's where I've had the best trades. Should have stayed away from GME because it was initially my best day in the live. But you know what? Bestla schmestla. That worked better in my head. If things don't, you can't trade on P&L. If you like what you like, 100%. Get involved. So that's kind of been my ethos today, my mantra. Come on, NVIDIA. I'd like all the smoke. Please and thank you. Sincerely, me. How are you doing?
MTC is still going, Adair. We haven't had a trade on this one, but this one continues to move up, and it continues to absolutely hug. Why am I not trading this? The 10-period moving average. There has not been a breach on a closing basis of the 10-period since 10:30. And when it breached it, you guess where it held up? Yeah, you guessed it, the 20. So this one continuing to go. It did put a bit of a topping tail candle right now through the break of 8, having issues with 8. And it's been having issues for a while, going back almost half an hour now with this $8 level. But the dips into the 10-period or off 750 have been printing. But as I see this trade, I can tell you the spread is like 30 pennies on it because it's moving from the bid to the ask. The bid is on 56. The ask looked at 78. There you go. You just saw that in real time. So when you have an entry like that, or sorry, a spread like that, it makes it awfully hard, number one, to get in, but also to get out. Because you have to have a corresponding party on the ask. And if there's such a big difference between the bid and the ask, it makes it a bit tough. In addition to that, it is having trouble with 8. What's going on with GameStop, Katina Man? Let me just flip back to GameStop here. The Katina Man, are you short? The Katina Man is short 55s on game. So he essentially took VWAP and took that monster back down. So $5.50 in the money as we talk right now. So the Katina Man been printing on this GameStop for a hot minute. It is finding a bit of support at this 48 1/4 or 48 1/3 for whatever reason. But even though it is finding that support, look at this, Katina Man, lower high, lower high, lower high, man. I'm gonna hope that you get a flat bottom break, baby, through the Katina. I love it, bro. I absolutely love it. I'm rooting for you, homie. The Katina Man is bidding 41s. That's a cool $8 from where we're trading. Shout out to him, man. I hope he absolutely prints on this. This flat bottom break could absolutely come in, and it could come in hard. Yeah, I mean, look. And I got he's short AMC on the halt again. The Katina Man is now short on AMC on this halt. I want to mention this, that ever since we broke down below the 50 period at this down halt here at 9:35, look at all the moves back into the 50 period. 10 o'clock, you come into the 50 period, reject. Double top at 11:05 and 11:10 off the 50 period. And then the latest series to include the 50 period, this 12:10 pop. Every single move back into the 50 period exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart has rejected. And it is looking like it might set up for a flat bottom break. If you are long this name, make sure that you're exercising proper risk management skills and or techniques or whatever. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. SPWR. Neil brought us SPWR earlier as a fantastic kind of other related meme stock in the solar sector that's running, and this was a beautiful looking upward channel until it wasn't. So it did break down here at around 12.15 as well, and now we are making lower lows and lower highs. Keep your eye out though for this $4 area. We had support earlier at 4. I do anticipate possible support again at 4. I know that I'll want to know when this hits 4, so I'm going to put an alert for 410 so that I can make whatever decision I want to at the time, depending on what we're doing here on these markets. So a bit of a kind of skewed looking head and shoulders here, possibly on the 5, but we'll look to trade the price action on SPWR if it comes into my level there.
Yeah, I'm in that NVIDIA short. I'm literally just trying to breathe. I want to see us break below. What I was like, I like a dog panting here. This has
I
been
didn't see it.
very stressful. I was like, I want us. Sorry, Refrain. I want to see us get below 906. I don't know if we will, but I'd be pleased with punch if we do. I'm watching the fuge. We're breaking down a little bit here on the fuge. Come on, NVIDIA. That 907 has been support earlier. It was rejection. I might have been a little bit late to this party. We tried a little, like I said, I want to see what we do at 907.50. We got to 907.30. So I'm like, okay, NVIDIA, you want to keep rejecting? Please do so. I am still that panting dog, like, come on, give me some water, owner taking me on a walk. But yeah, I want to see what we do here. I really want to see that rejection. This is I don't even want to take this out of my sight. Again, continue to feel like a child, someone babysitting my child. But yeah, we're going to watch NVIDIA here. We're going to keep an eye on that one. We're going to get something set up here right around this 906 because that's what I want. I want all the smoke. Here we go. Ahmed Al-Wala saying, sorry, Dora, just long NVIDIA. Laughing at. I mean, it's all good. Go to. I just took my a dollar club on NVIDIA, so shout out to you. I do think there is a long opportunity there. It's my first dollar club is getting in live.
Hold
it's
on.
like 95 cents, but
Yeah, well, that still counts.
thank you.
You got to tell me when you
Well,
hit
it's just the
dollar
first
clubs,
one. This is the
because
first
then we have to do this as well.
Thank you.
There it is.
Pardon?
I don't know what he's saying, but the Katina man is doing things off.
Yeah, shout out to Ahmed. Yeah, I agree with you that we are getting tighter. I think if we break above that 907, it could be a really nice look. With me always too, if anybody's new as well, because I know sometimes my trades are a little bit basically, everything I get involved in is more or less going to be a scalp unless I say otherwise. So that was what I was going there for, NVDA. Shout out to you, Ahmed. Hope you print, to quote Sharif, and also just our general ethos. Also, we have a Google DJ here at the Google event.
Nice. We started.
Right now, we did start. He has a little bit of Persian chart, a little bit of djembe, a little bit of flamenco guitar, just mixing here. He's a very interesting guy. The music was certainly not calming my nerves while I was in NVIDIA, I'll put it that way. But yeah, right now, this guy's still in control here. Roaring Kitty, markets roaring here. Also worth noting, we're supposed to get Sundar Pichai coming in at 1, so that's why I have this open.
He had a great interview. Brendo, what's her name again? Emily Chang. Thank you, Brendo. She works for Bloomberg. Brendo told me about this interview, so I watched it on the weekend. Very level-headed dude. What's going on? GME? So okay, we gotta interrupt this whole thing. Let's have a look at GameStop over here, baby, because GameStop looks like it's tanking according to the Katina man. I'm bringing in the chart in a second there. He's got bids at 41. Don't forget about that. Go to his chart. So that's where you got in at the 55. Been covering a little bit there, but waiting for that 40. Wow, 45 incoming Katina man. Flat bottom break, baby. Shout out to him. There it is. We're halting to the downside. There we go. Are you kidding me? $7 in the money. He's not playing around, and he wants to make that point. Well, okay, I guess he is. I don't know. Everything's tanking, and shout out to him, baby. Great shorts on those bad boys. Halted to the downside is AMC. Halted to the downside is GME. 46.15 halt. 6.53 halt on AMC. Both those bad boys about a minute. Well, AMC's a minute long. GME just halted. We'll keep eyes on that. Great trades to the south side there for the Katina man. $9 in the money.
Shout out to Sean, yeah.
Oh, I want to mention one quick thing. So Big Kyle sent me this on the gram, and he wants me to let everybody know that this is the chart of AMD, and this is the Brian Shannon anchored VWAP from Friday. It is finding support at the anchored VWAP. Keep a look at that, as this is today's, I'm assuming, the 14th anchored VWAP up, and that is the anchored VWAP from Friday. Shout out to Big Kyle. Let me know how that trade goes, my man. So big move up there on, or sorry, not big move up, big move down on AMD and AMC, or GME and AMC.
Yeah, I mean, AMP and AMD there. We have Sean printing on AMP. We have big Cal Burdett printing on AMT. It's really fun to say. I get why you say it like that. It's very fun. But yeah, so I did get out of my NVIDIA short. I think NVIDIA fell even further, but you know what? That wasn't part of the plan. I'm really happy with what I did. I said I want 906. I got 906. Also, I'm actually kind of vibing with what this DJ dude's dropping right now. Not the singing he just started doing, but that beat was actually pretty fire. Yeah, this dude's really entertaining me. I'm really ready for Sundar Pichai, though. I'm going to have to watch that Emily Chang interview because Brendan was telling me about that as well. But yeah, I'm trying to, this BYND, I was mentioning I should have gotten shorts. I should have just gotten shorts. Tried the long, didn't work. Happy with how I managed it. It was a bit of an L there. Robinhood falling. I'm trying to look for some opportunities here. This guy's maniacally laughing now in my ear. But let's see what we do. This Google event's really interesting. I want to see what we do at 18 on Robinhood. If we bounce, I might take a long here, but I definitely don't want to assume that we'll bounce. Why I say we might bounce? A, whole dollar level. B, we had that resistance area earlier. C, we're kind of trying to bounce. So Robinhood, this could be a watch, but that would be pretty small position. I don't know. That could be a nail biter, and I don't know if I'm really in the mood to bite nails here, especially ahead of that Google event. What else do we have that I was looking at earlier today? Amazon.
Ooh.
Amazon. Okay, I see you. I want more confluence before I get involved in this, but if we reject at this 185.80, this could be, you know, another rejection. I'll take that short. I had a couple fun shorts in Amazon. Currently, oh, sorry, NVIDIA is my best name of the day right now, which is words I did not think I'd be saying in the live, so I'm pretty happy with that. But Amazon also up there. 2 super chats. Thank you so much, big Cal Burdett. Google DJ looks like the Wayfair version of Johnny Depp.
That's hilarious.
He's a, you know, interesting guy. There he is. But yeah, thank you to Cal Burdett for the
Wayfair version. Wayfair, you got just what I need.
Oh, what is it? I don't even know that.
Oh, you don't know that?
Oh, that's the
slogan. Jingle.
Yeah,
the jingle.
The jingle. Also, thank you so much to Cal Burdett for that, and appreciate the $5. Shout out to you and your trades. Sharif showing the AMD, and thank you again for giving me that Amazon tip. We also have Oklo flying, says Ahmed Amwala. So let's take a look at AOKOLO. See how that's going. I always forget that's on the NY. So let's see how that goes. Oh, that is flying. We broke. This is a crazy compression pattern here. Look at this. Lower highs, slightly higher lows. We actually push above here. Nice look. Am I seeing any news on Oklo? I know Oklo was trading here up as well. Oh.
Yeah, this is the same guy.
Nice, yeah. Fabian was sending us some other clips of the Google DJ. I'm not seeing anything on Oklo, but apparently this one has been associated with some of the mean moves. This is also the Sam Altman one. This is the Alt C.
Yeah.
Again, I keep forgetting that this is the Fusion one, but nice look for OKLO.
Yeah, OKLO is interesting, guys, because we're talking about fission and fusion technology. I mean, we're probably 20, 30 years, maybe, I don't know, who knows, off that, but likely to be, you know, one of the major sources of power generation, energy generation, the second half of this century, but you got to start somewhere. So super interesting to see, and, you know, the fact that Altman is leading this, kind of, not leading it, he's one company, but it's definitely a good look. Guys, AMC is open and it's heading south again. New low a day right now, 603. It could halt to the high side this time at 636. Let's see if we get the halt ticker. It's no, 633, 635. This one's still going at 36. Can it halt? At the moment, it is holding up at 36. Do we get that halt? Do we get that halt? I'm going to have to load it up. And now we are halted on AMC to the high side this time at $6.36, below the previous halt level of last time at 6.5. So definitely still a downtrend. But yeah, we've had up halts before in this downtrend, like this one over here, and then we continue down again. Now look, just because something's halting doesn't mean it's not going to respect these moving averages. Look at how it's hugging the 10 and the 20. It hasn't even touched the 50. This is on the 1. But when you flip to the 5, look what it's doing. It's really, really respecting the 10. So nice look there. Excuse me, we'll keep eyes on AMC. I'm unlikely to trade this today, but this is the one that I had my eye on. SPWR. So this 410 level, and there it is. Now I get the alert that SPWR SunPower is at the level that I want to trade it. This 410 area is just to give me a heads up for the $4 area. And let me explain to you why I was looking at $4 on SPWR, even though it has been tanking. This is the area that we held up initially. $3.92 is the low at that print, or from 93, excuse me, but look where the holdup is. The closing print above $4. So now we're doing the dance with no pants here with 4. How does this resolve? I don't know. I'm not going to put a resting order or get in front of 4. I need it to either touch 4 and then move back up, and if I have to miss a piece of the move, so be it. But I need it to prove to me that it's going to hold up at those levels, especially since it's coming off such a big move. This thing touched $7.50, and now we're talking about a $4 touch. So $3.50 off the top on a $7 name and a $4 name. You get what I'm saying? So it's a big boy move for SPWR. Let's see if this one holds. And if I have to waste some time waiting for the move to prove itself, then so be it. Keep an eye on SPWR. The other one that's still maintaining its pattern and strength and has not wavered one bit is this MTC. If this hadn't been such a spready name, I'd be all over it, but this name has not broken the 10 period on a closing basis since this print over here at 10:30. It's been uninterrupted for 2 hours and a half now, looks at the high side, and printing higher highs and higher lows of there. Oh, GME opened, and it's tanking again, Katina, man. You're going to get that 41 print. It's 41.76, my man. That's where the halt is. Shout out to the Katina man there. I like it, brother. I mean, I love it.
There actually is a confident button.
I heard about this. I missed one day last week. There's 2 new Sean animations, right? There it is. I love That's awesome.
$14 winner?
$14 winner because he's short at 55s. Shout out to the Katina man taking that bad boy short and having the commitment to stay with the trade. Shout out to him, guys.
Yeah, I'm really trying to learn from Sean in terms of like, get committed to what, if you like something, get committed to it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's why I'm happy I took that Robinhood. I wanted at least 18.14, so I was trying to get about 9 pennies, got into 18.05s, got out when we broke below 18, risked 5 pennies. I'm not upset I took it. You know what I mean? To quote a classic Tupac song, I ain't mad at you, Robinhood. It is what it is. I really want this Tesla short. I really wanted that Tesla short. I missed it by a couple pennies. It fell to the downside. If we come back and we reject again, I'll take that. I do like that VWAP rejection, especially. Woo. Sorry, I didn't mean
all
to.
Good. I like
keep
it.
Doing that. I appreciate that. Especially because with Tesla, you kept having this rejection of 177 ask earlier, right? Then we find support at 177 around VWAP. So when that flips, when it flips, that's when I want to get involved. So that was really the look there for my good pal, Miss Dressla. So we're going to have to see how that goes. Let's see how NVIDIA is going here as well.
Still halted.
Oh.
It halted down to
yes.
Which one? Yes. Oh, GME. But yeah, so right now, NVIDIA coming back above that 908. Shout out to Ahmed. I know you said you went long on this one. Happy with my scalp short, so you just gotta keep switching it up. Whatever works for you, you know what I mean? What I've noticed too is sometimes Sharif and I will take the same names at the same time, which is very rare, and we'll take them differently, right? Because you'll have different approaches. So, you know, not every stock is gonna be one size fits all approach. You're always gonna have different ways to approach things. So I just wanted to put that out there. Shout out to you, Ahmed. Hope you are printing on that. Shout out to Jollyman Lollington. That is such a fun name. 2 British pound super chats. Loving AMC, GME, long and short, made my month on it. Shout out to you, and I think Sean could probably echo that. Sean was long and short, both of these, throughout the last couple of days. So shout out to you there. Jollyman Lollington, I'm sure you are very jolly over there with that. So thank you so much. Another super chat. Thank you so much, Kazrao.
Wow.
OW, $2 super chat.
You didn't get filled yet.
Hearing Atlas HF brought Kitty Twitter account to pump.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to look into that. But thank you for telling us about that, Kazro. And thank you so much for the super chat. And shout out to Sean for bringing us that live GME trade. You know, I tried to bring a couple meme trades here. He's also short AMC at 7. So let's take a look at AMC. I mean, you know, oh, he is. I was going to say 30 pennies in the money, and now it looks like he's going to be $1 in the money there. So yeah, we might have to ring that money button for Sean, but I know I don't have to tell you twice to ring that. Shout out to Sean. This has been such a fun day. If this is what meme stock season is like, it's like Christmas in May. Sean's $1 in the money, guys. when I pulled this up,
Unreal,
Sean was 70 cents in the money.
Unreal.
He's now $1.10 in the money. What is this AMC? This is AMD $1 in the money as well. Let's take. I know Kyle Burdett was involved in that as well. So let's take a look. Ooh. Okay, I like this look at
He's
AMD as well.
$16 in the money combined.
Okay, this. I'm gonna take this AMD short. I think. I said I like this level. I said if we don't bounce at this level, I like this level. I think I'm going to take AMD short. Sorry, guys, for all of the speedy speaking. This has just been such a fun day. We've had so many opportunities, and I hope you guys have been, here with us. We're getting ready for Sundar Pichai to take the mic on Google 3 minutes away. Hope you guys are having as much fun as we are. Thank you, guys. I'm just happy to be here. I'm just so happy to be here.
I love it. I love your attitude is sick. Guys, I'm long MTC. So even though this is the very wide spread for a $7 name, it's what is this? 9 penny spread at the moment. So we'll see what we get here. Stops in place, profit takers in place, come what may. Let's do this. I just got a crazy, dark print on this thing. Oh, there, I just removed it. So this platform removes the dark prints because I just got a dark print and then it removed it. Very interesting.
That's nice.
Big Kyle Burdett poll, does GME go red? Production team, could you be interested in that? And by production team, I'm talking about Ram. Could you be interested in putting that, Ram? Does GME go red? Let's see what people think. Well, right now, GME, where's GME at right now? Well, we're still up 37.14%, but we're down 34.33% since the open. So since we printed that first print at 9 a.m., we are down 34.33%. On AMC, even worse, man. 43.39% down since the open. That outweighs how much we're up on the day. We're still up on the day 23.7%, but looks like we're giving some of that back. Keep eyes on that. Yes, the poll. What'd you say, Ram? Yeah, GME. Does GME close red? So we'll see what we get there. And bang on MTC, we get the fill. Please, this dang punch about this. We're going to play that range on MTC. I don't really care. 10 pennies, quickly, write that. And we'll leave the other piece for the dream. Maybe we can run into 850 or something along those lines. So MTC long on this monster, and it's now printing 805s. It was a second ago. We'll see if this one can continue to hold up at the 10 period and give me a little bit more money. Let's see what else we have over here. Let's bring in these mega caps. We haven't looked at them in a hot minute. All right, so the soft one starting to curl back off that level, that 412 level. Again, this was I don't want to call it the IB low, but we definitely had a trough in and around there. It holds 412 almost to the dang T, and now you're about 75 pennies in the money. Keep your eye out on VWAP at 413 and a third. Amazon, Adara, didn't you have a short on this Amazon?
I did. It's coming back that level
right
again.
back into that level again, Adara, right into that 200 period. I don't want to influence you, but yeah, you know exactly.
I have an eye on it.
Yeah, all right, cool. So I'm going to delete my alert. Because I was looking at the wrong level. Big Kyle and Adara had a better short. They took that 186 bad boy earlier. I was looking at 186.50, 186.60, and the reason was that was the closing print from yesterday. So I was looking to defend that level. Alas, it is now the 200 period on the 5 or 186, the whole dollar level, which is acting as a local level of resistance. To the downside, we clearly have the volume weighted average price as support. That takes us back to 1035 and 1040. And yet again here, 1145, 1150, and yeah, you guessed it, 1155. We held up at those levels. So we'll see what we get there. Go MTC, you punk. Head up. Let's see. I mean, I expected this one was going to be super slow because it's quite spready, but we'll see if we get a nice big pump up. I already got my out on this monster. Does GME close red? I don't know. Who's GME? Let's put that on, see what people are saying. The Hayes Records. Where you been, my man? Haven't seen you in a hot minute. Shout out to the Hayes Records. Hold on. Says, what's cracking, beautiful people? Took a modest 6 points on the ES during Powell's speech. Shout out to you, my man. Hayes Records printing and taking, I guess, I don't know, Reversion man? Is he
Yeah,
the reversion man?
he's the reversion man.
He is
Remember the
reversion
spoofy man?
The spoofy man
That
is
was the whole
unknown.
conversation we had where it was like, you don't know the spoofy man? But yeah, that was a crazy look there. AMD got out of the short. I was probably too conservative with it. We had our pop above 152.70. I said, bye-bye.
41.50.
The Katinaman got out at 41.50 on the market on open order. Good trades, homie. He put an MOO, market on open order. If you don't know what that is, get apprised with it, because if you're stuck in a halt, that's really the only way to send out an order so that when it opens, the halt is no longer in effect, then you can get out. There, Sundar's on.
Make sure you have your risk management set. If you are in Google, you don't want to be torn asunder by Sundar Pichai talking right now here on the IO stage. Love this look here. Yeah,
this is going to be super interesting. We're going to get a lot of information, Adara.
Yeah.
We're going to see how they're going to augment Gemini. We're going to see how they incorporate AI into the new Android. There's going to be a lot of stuff here that could help Google.
He just compared Google I/O to the Eras Tour, but with 0 costume changes. Which is
you must love that.
I don't, but I love the deadpan way he delivered it because Sundar is a very deadpan dude. I enjoy him. I like that vibe. He's saying we're in our Gemini era. He's kind of an icon.
I love it. I love it.
I'm really enjoying this so far. So shout out to that. I accidentally did that thing where you wag your little remote and then all your charts go away.
Take over? I'll take
yeah,
over,
thank you. I appreciate that.
worries.
I'll let you guys know if he says anything.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll keep eyes on that. The Google I/O event, widely anticipated by analysts, keeping an eye on that. They want to know what the deal is, especially now with Google and Microsoft essentially fighting for AI dominance with ChatGPT and Gemini. Now, we know there's others. There's that Perplexity, there's Grok, there's others, but those are the two main guys. So definitely I'll be all ears, and I'll probably go and watch the event afterwards. Yesterday, I did go back and watch the ChatGPT event, the Open AI event with Mira Murati and those other two dudes. I don't know who they are. But it was really, really excellent to watch exactly what they were talking about before. I was trying to listen to it while we were doing the show, but obviously a lot easier said than done to do that way. But a lot of interesting stuff coming out from them, so I'd be very interested to see how Google counters that, especially one day later. And you got to assume that OpenAI event was not done by accident one day before Google I/O. At least you won't convince me otherwise. Go MTC, you punk. Let's go. I'm going to get some out here. Let's see if I can get some out at H. Wow, it dropped. Holy cow. Adara, did you see that? Look at that. It went. I was just about to get some out at 14s, and it dipped aggressively into 760. This is the real deal. This is what I mean when you're trading spreads. 813 on the ask, 760 on the bid, and the bottom just absolutely fell off. Thank God I was able to de-risk in front of 8. What a move down for MTC. I was just about to take out my profits at 814, but it looks like that elicited someone to sell, and I lose a little bit on that last little piece there. All good. We'll look to figure a different trade out. What's your look?
Yeah, right now, so I want to get short AMD again. This is not a revenge trade. This is a recalibration trade. I still think this is a short.
I like it.
I still think we're going to break to the downside. I think, though, getting involved at the flat bottom was a bit of a questionable moment for me. That's the point of my entry. I still like that we're below the 90 EMA. I still think this is a look. I think if we can get 56s, I'm going to be pleased as punch. So that's what we're going to try to do. I don't know if we'll get it. If we don't get it, that's going to be on me for executing the trade poorly in the first place. I will, we do have the lesson soon, so I'm not going to be able to stay in this for too long. I don't even know if AMD will let me into the house. But if it does, I do like this look. Hopefully we have something there. GME breaking below 41s now. AMD. It's a little bit AM disappointing that I wasn't allowed in. But again, that's my fault for getting a bad entry in the first place, getting out. Now AMD's fallen to the downside, but you know what? I'm all good. Still up on the day. Always bullish positivity. Always trying to find new things to trade here. Thank you very much for the bang button there, whomever that was. But I think that there's so many. I think it was Ramin. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, so many opportunities here. Also, I still like that kind of range short on NVIDIA around that 907. So if that's what I play instead of AMD, that's what I'll be playing. I could think there could be some NVD play on NVDA at this level. Grov saying Roblox making a bull flag with potential flat top break. I'll take a look at that. Kyle Burdett short Amazon again, so I'm going to have to look at that because that's the one I still like. Ooh, okay. That's interesting. Bull flag potential flat top break. This is not how I would play it. I would definitely play the range, but I see what you mean. It's a pretty tight range, pretty flat top break. I'm always a little bit cognizant of these as well with these bull flags with the potential flat top break because you want to make sure that you have that confluence for that move up. Volume here isn't bad. Yeah, I think this could certainly come to pass, but again, just my take on the chart. I think we could be chopping and trading a little bit more. We seem to have a lot of volume when these pops up, then we peter out. But I think if Roblox gets, the rhythm that it needs, the motion, the ocean it needs to push to the upside, I think that could be a very nice look here for RBLX. So shout out to Gurov. This Amazon, I want to see us break below the 9 EMA, just because that's a level I'm always a little bit cognizant of. If we break below that, I'm going to be getting short here, and I'm going to be taking it to at least 185, same kind of area we did earlier. If we break above that 186 90s, that's what I'll be getting out. You know what? Straight out 186, 185 90s. If we get 186 90s, I'm going to be like, it'll be really bad. I would be shut down. But yeah, I think this is a level that we want to get involved in here. I'm going to take, and we're going to do it. I like this look. AMD, shout out to people who are still short AMD. A little bit upset I missed it. AM disappointed in myself, but shout out to anybody who did get that trade. I want the Amazon. I like the Amazon. To quote Ariana Grande, 7 rings. I see it. I like it. I want it. I got it. Yeah, we have some updates as well from this Google I/O. Saying that there's a photos, like where you can take a look at your reels and your photos. Nice. Not a ton of. There's a new Ask Photos with Gemini, so you can be like, hey, can I look at these photos? And Gemini will show you those photos. As he said, Google's in its Gemini era.
Can I tell you something? That
Yes.
Apple already has that in pictures. So if I go to my photos right now and I say, I type in dogs, it'll pull up pictures of my dogs. It reads the pictures. It knows what it's looking at. If I say beach, it'll pick up all the pictures of beaches, which I find is pretty cool.
I've actually
rudimentary.
used it. Yeah, that's fair.
Have you?
Yeah, I've used it on Apple, yeah.
Nice, yeah, okay. All right, how's your new iPhone?
I still haven't. He baited me.
I said I love it. Ram will do it for you.
Thank you, Ramin. I'm gonna have to do that because I have issues. Ramin said she's gonna help me because I've been struggling.
I just want to tease you there a little bit because I've been hearing about this new iPhone for a hot minute.
It's been
all
at
right,
least
guys.
2 months.
She got a new iPhone, guys, and she's refusing to use it. I don't know why, but I do know why. PROK, give me a second. Yeah, PROK, new small cap gapper du jour. Let's get to this one. I'm going to take off MAXN. PROK. This one's going, guys. It's only up 33%. But look at this chart over here, looking awfully good, and the spread is decent. This one's moving reasonably well. I'll give you the deets on it in a second. Let me just put in the ticker so everyone can follow along. PROK, every single retracement's bounced off the 10 period so far. Okay, the deets. $945 million market cap, so sub 1 billion. The volume today, decent, 1 1/3 million shares. It just started getting going here. You can see the volume really only came in at 20 after 11. The float, large, larger-ish, 60 million share float, bit bigger for a small cap gapper. The short float, if any, yes, now we're talking 23% short float. So now we could reasonably anticipate that this monster can squeeze. And the fact that it's moving with no headline gets me to believe that this one was selected for its high short float, okay? Because that's what these traders do. We know about the whole thing with Marvin Capital and that whole thing. So trying to squeeze people out that are short the name. So PROK, larger, a short float right now, and it's pamping here through that $4 area. A decent idea, in my opinion, would be to look for a dip trade off the 10 on the 5. That's at least how I would play it. And as you can see, if history is any guide, every single dip into the 10 period subsequent to 11:20 has held up and printed a newer high. So good luck there for PROK. Let's see if this one can continue to run into the afternoon, Adara.
Yeah, this will be a really interesting look. Listening to that Google event still, right now people are talking about the different things you can do with the different features. Let's take a look at Google here. Getting a nice little pop to the upside, but still below VWAP, so that could be an interesting area. Short Amazon, I would love for us to kind of get off the schneid, or I guess get on the schneid as Neil and sometimes Sharif will say. Don't like that we're bouncing off the 9 EMA. Said that was kind of a problem area for me on this, but I still do think this short has some potential. The other thing that makes me a little bit more filled with trepidation for this short is I'm kind of taking it at the bottom of that Q range. So if we get a bounce on the Q, we probably get a bounce on Amazon here. Keep going to the downside on Amazon. If we break above 95s in Amazon, I'm going to be out. You know what? Actually, no, it's going to be high days. No, it's not. I'm tired. If we break, this is not even near high days. If we break below 95s, I'm out. Then I can live with that. We're about 10 pennies away from that. I'm going to get that set up on my side chart so I can manage him if applicable. And we are going to move on to our lesson of the day. If we hear anything from Sundar Pichai, we will definitely take the lesson to Sundar for the time being and get to that. That is for sure. Come on down, Amazon. Let's not do that. Good times. I'm just going to get out of Amazon, I think, before this lesson begins. Actually, no, we're rejecting. We're going to stay in this for now. But let's get going here on our lesson of the day. How do you choose the right moving averages for your crossovers? Because we've been talking about moving average crossovers all week, and by all week I mean these 2 days now. Well, the length of your moving average time frame is absolutely going to matter, because moving averages do smooth out price fluctuations, but actually the chosen period or length can impact your crossover signal. So here's why. Short-term, your short-term MA, so that's going to be your 10-day or 20-day. These are going to be a little bit more nimble ninjas, as described here in the lesson. They react really quickly to price changes and generate frequent crossovers, so they're going to be more ideal for identifying short-term trends and potentially capturing fast-moving opportunities. But the signals can be a little bit noisy and prone to false positives during a choppier market there. Now, what about your long-term MAs? These are going to be your 50-day, your 200-day. These are going to be more ideal for your long-term trends. And they're like wise old owls. They've seen it all. They've seen more price action because they're longer period. And they offer a bit more of a calmer take on these here markets. They react slower and provide smoother signals and can highlight longer-term trends because they've been around the block a couple times. They've seen it all. They're the senior citizens of your moving averages. You have here your 100-day MA. It's going to be a lot smoother here, a little bit thicker as well in this drawing, which I like. Then you've got your 20, which is a little bit more, or you have your 100, then you have your 50, that black line, also on the smoother side, and then you have your little chop and churn 20 there, right? So it does show you different time periods, giving you different areas of confluence there. I'm just going to hop out of
I can take over for a
It's
second
all good. I
more.
just got out there of Amazon. That was a bit of a move there on my part. Still up on the name, but you got to roll with the punches. You got to get with these markets, take you there. Let's talk as well about, bless you, the art of combining moving averages. So that's what you really want to see, right? How they meld together. And here are some popular strategies. You've got your classic 50-day to 20 crossover, golden or death, depending on how you play it. This is going to be a battle-tested approach. You know, Sean will talk a lot about these golden and death crosses.
Oh, yeah.
And a golden cross on the time frame of the 50 to 200. So when you have your 50 crossing over your 200, that'll show a potential long-term uptrend, and a death cross could indicate a downtrend. Then you have your short-term confirmation with a long-term trend. So that's when you're going to be utilizing a shorter MA, like your 20-day, for a faster entry and exit point within the trend identified by the longer-term MA, like your 200-day. And here's an example here. You have your 20 crossing above the 50, which is going to be assigned to buy, and then also some support provided here by your longer-term 200-day MA, just serving as a bottom. Nice look. Let's talk about tailoring your approach as well, now that you have those moving averages on your horizon. How do you want to heighten this approach and make it right for you?
Taylor Swift?
Well, there are a couple different ways you could do it. The perfect MA length is going to depend on your trading style and the asset you're trading. But for day traders, you might want to be looking more at a shorter term MA, right? So your 10-day, your 50-day to capture intraday trends and frequent signals. Swing traders also, you might want to look at more of a blend, a bit more of a mix, an amalgamation of moving averages, if you will. Your 20-day, for example, or your 50-day, you want to identify short to medium term trends while maintaining some noise reduction. And last but not least, if you're a bit more of a positional trader, you're going to want to embrace the longer MAs. See a little bit more of what the motion, the ocean has been over a longer term. Focus on major trend shifts and potentially hold on to longer periods. Let's also take a look at the multi-time frame magic. You don't want to be confined to just one chart. How dare you? Maybe you want to see what your 200 period's doing on a longer term trend, or your 50, your 20, your 10, if you're 10-day MA. I like a 9 EMA if you're using a shorter time frame chart. You know what I mean? So it's really going to depend on what type of trader you are and what type of time frame you're trading. But look at a couple different time frames, see what works best. Pourvu.
What?
This can also help you to confirm signals and identify potential entry and exit points within a larger trend. But also experimentation, as is always, the trading is going to be key. There's no one magic perfect formula. No two snowflakes are alike, no two traders and no two trading styles are going to be alike either. Experiment with different moving average length on paper trading accounts and to see what works for you and your trading style, and also maybe back test your strategies as well. Historical data to assess their effectiveness before you risk your real moolah. That's my look on that. Yeah, that's the lesson of the day.
Big Kyle's asking a really interesting question. He's asking Donnie Zimbabwe, but I think it's important for everybody else to hear this. He asks, can you put in a sell order for when it opens, maybe take 6 or so off soon as it opens and hold the rest for more? Yes, Kyle, that's exactly what Sean did. So it's called a market on open order, MOO. The Katina man just mentioned that GameStonk is still headed to the downside. Yes, it is. 36 now, low of day. Moo. I like it. Moo. You're still holding 12% of the position? Sean's still holding 12% of that GameStop short at 55s, by the way, guys. We just made a low of 36, so that was almost $20 in the money there. But to go back to Big Kyle's question, we are talking about options contracts. Oh. Okay, so you're not talking about MOCs. Okay. Moo. You're not talking about moves. But I want to point this out. So if you're caught in a halt, a market on open order is the way to put in the order for when things are halted. So I guess they were probably talking about something else, but good time to call it out anyway. Now, SPWR did come down aggressively, and I did cancel my order on this. I didn't like what I was seeing from this, so I took out my order. Let's see if now it holds above 4. It's below now 395, printed 388s. It did find support at the 200 period on the 5. So I'm interested in getting long on this name if it is able to show some support here by printing and curling above that level. I won't take a dip trade on it, a resting order trade, just because it's it's really coming off here. But PROK just keeps on going. So again, this is a high short float name. It is about, I forget what I said, 23%? What the hell was this? 23% short. On PROK, it's up now 35%. It's been printing higher highs and higher lows above the 10 EMA all morning, since essentially 20 after 11, when the volume started coming in hot and heavy on this one. So keep your eyes out on PROK. And I also want to mention that AMC seems to have a bit of a buyer now below 6. Look at this flat bottom now. That's in this wick shimmy below 6. What are you seeing there on AMC, Katina, man? Are you still in it? The Katina man covered some at 6, and now it's halted to the upside at 640. So I think what I'm seeing here is legitimate, even though we're still below the 10 period. So we really haven't claimed any levels. All I'm seeing is a wick shimmy into 6, and there does seem to be a buyer at this $6 level. When you get these bottoming tail candles and the closing keeps moving above that $6 level, it's a bit of a hit. We'll see. We'll see what happens when this monster opens. AMC halted upside $6.40. But I got to tell you guys, since the bell rang at 9:30 a.m., AMC is down 43.5%. GameStop is down 39.5%. That's from the bell on. And guess what? Faraday Futures is up 105% since the bell, but it's also coming off here. As you can see, it's doing that rounded top. Shout out to the NOS boss. Look at this rounded top action here. And now we traded Faraday earlier at that 30 and took at that 25 and took it out at 30. And here comes 19 pennies. 19 pennies is of interest to me. Why? Because that's where the volume weighted average price is hanging out with its friends. So let's see exactly if we get a bump and hold off that 19 print where VWAP is on Faraday Futures. This monster is up 235% on the day. It is a penny stock, guys. I didn't have eyes on it till really, really late because I filtered my scanner out for everything above 85 pennies. But Faraday, an absolute print factory to the high side. We're going to keep eyes on AMC as it's halted to the upside now at 648 air.
That was a great Faraday future trade. Shout out to you on that. Amazon, I got out of the short during the lesson. Then I was like, this looks like a flat top break. Yeah, Amazon was like, oh, you missed your shot though. Broke to the upside. I mean, I'm still I'm positive on this name. Slightly down on the day though, and it is always a little bit hard when you had, I had a really good day earlier today, and then the GME did put a little bit of a stop to the games there on that. But you know what? I'm honestly still happy I took the trade because I'm happier that I tried it than if I didn't take it because I'm like, oh, but I'm doing well today. You know what I mean? That wouldn't have felt good to me. You want to take risks because you can't have rewards unless you take risks. And yes, that is maybe the most cliched on the nose thing to say, but you know what? I think sometimes those things exist for a reason. Cliches exist for a reason. There's some truisms within there. So I do think you do miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Shout out there to Gretzky. And so you want to try to take those opportunities as well. I want to see that bounce here off 186. I still have a resting order, 185.90s. I think 185.95. I think there's an opportunity there. What's NVIDIA doing here? NVIDIA, okay, if that 907 short comes to fruition again, I think that could be interesting. But we're kind of curling up a little bit, so that's the thing I want to be cognizant of here as well. I don't want to rush too quickly. Also, I have to say, the thing I'm most upset at myself about, AMD. Really upset I missed that short. Took the short, broke above, set my risk management way too tight, then got out. If we bounce off 152s, I'll take this into 152.50s, but I don't want this to be a revenge trade. I'm going to need more confluence. I'm going to need some more motion in the ocean before I get involved there. Yeah, just still looking at stuff.
I'm looking at the Katina Man is short Amazon, and I have to agree with this move, but I'm not going to get in here. Shout out to him. I hope he prints. I'm looking for this area over here, 186.50, 186.60. That's yesterday's closing print. It's also the institutional level high at 8 a.m. I know that there's a plethora of theories about what those 8 a.m. prints mean, but it's always eye-opening when they come right into that closing print. You have to wonder if those prints were put in at some previous time when that level was relevant. I'm talking about this 186.57, 60 level, whatever it is. Hard to tell when you're zoomed out. That's Amazon's closing print. It is at day's highs as we speak. The Katina Man now is short AMC again. Here we go again. 30. Where is AMC? Over here it is. 680 is not halted yet, is it? Let's flip to the 1 minute so we can have eyes on this one properly. Hurry up, AMC. There we go. So now we're knocking on the door of $7. And now on the 1 minute, which is very fleeting, we have the crossover of the moving averages, the 10 crossing over the 20, the 10 now knocking the door of the 50. The reason I'm mentioning that is because we're talking about moving average crossovers all week. But alas, the 1 minute means very little. And so let's look at the 5 and see if there's any crossovers taking place. None yet. There's still about 50 pennies worth of space between the 10 and the 20 on the 5. So we'll continue to watch that. Shout out to the Katina Man. Hope he prints on that, but I'm going to be looking at the Amazon, and that price could be coming in very quickly here. Amazon has been putting in higher highs and higher lows. I'm not going to just put my order there. I need it to reject off that level. If I miss some of the trade, then I miss some of the trade. I suck. But the point is, I need to know that this level is going to be significant to Amazon, right? And this level is yesterday's closing print, 186, high 50s, 60, whatever it is. Keep your eye out on that level. Amazon's been rocketing up here. Shout out to Adair for having that great short on it earlier, but as she mentioned, it looked like it was accumulating for a flat top break. We'll see if that move is fleeting. The dead one is headed back down again into the 200 period moving average, and by dead one, I mean Apple. It's a joke. 186.43 is where the 200 is. This one had a fantastic range earlier with 187 and 186.50, and then incrementally that range kept coming down a little bit. Initially it was 187, and then it became 186.95, and then keeps going down a little bit more and more and more. What's going on over there, Sean? Broke 7 on AMC. Let's have a look here at what AMC's doing. Yeah, AMC's you can tell it's getting a little bit stronger. We're gonna have to see where the price action bottoms out. But let's have a look. So we got the 20 period, we got the 10 period. It seems to be crossing all those. I don't feel like I want to base it off a moving average. I feel price action support here is really going to be interesting. I'm going to be looking at 9. We had that nice flat bottom breakthrough 9. Initially, we defended 9 here on the down halt. Then we opened up above it, and then we troughed out at this $9 area between 10:40 and 11 o'clock, and then we really gave up the ghost there. So I'm trying to find some decent price action areas of support and resistance, and wanting to rely less on these moving averages with these memes. Let's see what we get here. I'll be looking at 9. If 9 comes into play, we'll be looking short. I'll have to secure shorts on these. I don't have them. I'm willing to bet they're probably a lot pricier than they were in the morning. So we'll continue to keep eyes on that. What are you looking at, Adara?
Yeah, I was just mentioning Vic Shan Novak because he said NVIDIA, I reckon, is about to pop up. And I literally am waiting for a long here. I want 908. I was watching this on the short side for a little bit earlier. Took a long as well earlier. But now I'm like, you know, if things are going to flip, I have to flip my mindset. That little candle here to the downside where we close up, I said, you know what, Dara, we're flipping. I don't know if NVIDIA is going to let me in. I want 908. 01s, 90805s. That's, I think my order's 90805s. Yes, it is. So if we come back to 908 and we bounce, I'm okay with that. I don't know if NVIDIA is going to give me that, but believe me, you definitely don't want to go chasing waterfalls, especially if that waterfall is a giant $900 stock that you've never traded in the live except for today. No. So, you know, that is not something I want to chase. Very small position. It is bears repeating, not taking very many shares with this. If we break below 907.50 with the viciousness, I'm getting out because I don't want that viciousness unless it's in my favor. I want that 910 minimum as well. So we want minimum $2, but like we know I scalp. So if we get to 909 and things slow down, I'll scalp it out. I'd rather take less profit than no profit.
Absolutely.
But yes, that's the look there, especially because we're taking a smaller position size. I want to make sure that I move things accordingly. I don't think we're going to get my 908.01, so it's going to be a little bit disappointing, but we're going to have to find out.
IO event? Because Google just rocketed up.
Honestly, they keep showing different products. I'm going to have to see what the headlines are for this. I've been trying to follow... Microsoft apparently announcing its Windows report saying Microsoft has some upcoming AI projects here. But let me see if there's anything on Google. Googly. Announces new search engine powered by generative AI. But that was at 111. So, you found it.
This is apparently it. It's coming in with the flame, which means it's a hot news item. So here it is. It's come in at 27. Alphabet is doubling prompt size allowance to 2 million tokens for flagship Gemini 1.5 Pro model, says CEO Sundar Pichai. If you've been following AI, you know about these tokens and you know how they feature and everything. Google's at days high. Google just rocketed up into 170.50, guys. So whatever they're dropping on that IO that the market's eating up with a fat spoon, because here we go. We're printing days highs as we go. We have this level here with which to contend. That is the pre-market high, or is that the pre-market high? No, that's a 930. That's the IB high. We broke through it, but keep your eye out for resistance at this 170.50, 170.60, because this is the general area. It's a $170 name. But whatever is happening right now, Google or the market really liking what Google has to say on this IO event. 171 could be incoming here, guys. 170.70 now, HOD. This is really going. The other trade that I want to keep my eye on is Amazon. So here we go. Amazon is at that level, 186.60. This is a level that I like. This is yesterday's closing print. And it'll have to prove to me that this is an area of resistance. I'm not going to put a resting order around here. Got to get it on the back end, as my friend Neil likes to say. That means some red candles coming in here, and there hasn't been any for the last 20 minutes on the 5. So keeping my eye on AMZN as it reaches yesterday's closing print and looks to go green on the day. Google just did a bit of a topping tail candle through 170.80, coming back into the 50s, but I think the trend is still intact here on goggles. Yeah, we'll have to see if this 170.50 area from the IB high features here as a level of resistance or not. Right now it's not, but we'll keep eyes on that. Microsoft also back at the volume weighted average price. This could be an interesting area here for the soft one, but I'd rather not take anything short at VWAP. I'd rather play yesterday's closing print at 413.75. That's where we used as support this morning. Look at that big move down here on Microsoft at around 1050 and 1055, and we used that 413.75 closing print from yesterday as a level of support and move back up $1.25 into that 415.25. So I'll be looking short on Microsoft at 413.75 if that level comes in. Looks like right now, as I look back at the Amazonian, we're not printing above 186.60. So here we go. We're starting to see some red, but you're not going to catch me shorting this. I need to see some proof that this is going to hold up at this level because I don't have another area of resistance off which to base my stop. So if I was to go short 186.60 on a resting order, where would I get out? 188.25, that's the next level of resistance. That's the IB high from yesterday. So I need proof this is going to hold up. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Google announcing Imagen 3, their, quote, most powerful image generating model. So that's a really cool look there on Google. I did get NVIDIA. I know I said I wasn't going to chase a little bit, But, you know, I did realize we were having a little bit harder of a time getting to 908. So I said, you know what, Adara, if it's going to give you a higher low, get involved at 908.45. We did drop a little bit. If we keep popping up here at 908, I'm going to stay in this trade if we break decisively below that 908. I know I initially said 907.50, but if we have a higher, if we're kind of moving a little bit, I have to adjust my stop accordingly, right? Especially because I got in about 50 pennies higher than initially was the plan, right? So I have to adjust my stop, my out accordingly, what have you. I still want to see what we do at 908s or 909s to 910s. I still think we can get 910s. Wow, I'm NVIDIA. I'm interested in 910s if we can get that. I want to see what we can do. I think we're chopping and turning to something. Hopefully we're chopping and turning to upside, pop up. I'm still comfortable in this trade. I'm not uncomfortable with this trade. However, NVIDIA, I'd be more comfy with this trade if you like moved up a little bit, you know, just a hint, wink, and a nudge. Someone is pleased as punch.
No,
that
we're
was
good.
an amazing trade that you figured out there. I really like that look there. Congrats to you, Sharif. He pumped his fist. I see what he's getting at. That thing moved to the downside. Would you like to chat about it?
I would. It's not great yet, Adara. We're hoping it'll be a little bit better. I have my out on this at 66s or thereabouts. I'm talking about 186.66 on the Amazonian Ram. So we're looking for another move down. Now, what's my target on this? I know that's what people are going to ask me. So I'm going to have to look, and I'm going to have to say, ideally, you want that 186 retracement. That's if we continue down. Now, we're not continuing down. This is one measly 5-minute red candle here. But I'd love a 186 retracement. That might be ambitious. I think maybe a less ambitious target, you know, is the 10 period, which is only measly 10 pennies above that whole dollar level. So we'll keep eyes on that. But I don't feel I'm being supported by the NQ. The NQ is curling back up here. It's probably getting a nice little boost from goggles, right? Look at this 18.3 hold and VWAP. I mean, the wicks went down to 18.3. The closing prints are above VWAP. And we're not really getting a big boy rounded bottom or anything, but we are curling, putting in higher lows. So if the future continues to go in this direction, that could hurt my Amazon short. And goggles just knows no bounds. 171.09 now, the HOD on Google. So that one is continuing to trend to the high side. And the market's supporting that move. Also, keep in mind, Microsoft's level, I like this 413.75. Now we're above the volume-weighted average price on Softy. I'll be looking short at 413.75, yesterday's closing print on the soft one. What else we got over here? Let's flip back to these memes. What are they doing? All right, so AMC got up into what, 7 3/4 or thereabouts. Now it's a little bit down, 7 1/2, 7 1/3. It's trying to fight. I mean, it definitely held 6. That general 6 area definitely had buyers in and around there, even though we wicked into 585. Also, GameStonk on the way back up, that 36 print to the T. And now we're $9 above that, breaking through 405, 405.06 at the 20. But again, I'm going to be looking at that same level that I was looking at on AMC, this 47.5, a very similar level on 47.5 to about 48, to about 49. It's a wide margin. I'm sorry, but this is kind of the flat bottom that everybody was excited about when Sean was printing on that, because he took that 55 short and then he had the flat bottom break through that 49. So I'll be looking at that level to hold up as a level of resistance on GME. What else we got over here? Not much. Oh, Meta's getting weak here, eh? Meta's about to go red on the day. Well, it is now red, breaking down.
Yeah.
I love it. There's no shortage of puns from Adara Panera.
Yeah, there is a shortage of patience for me. NVIDIA. Let's get going. I do not want NVIDIA down. We can get Amazon to the downside.
Oh, my bad. NVIDIA's got to go long. My bad.
Yeah. No, it's all good. We got a little bit below 908, and then we came right back up with the businesses. I was like, cool, keep doing that, guys. Now we're back below a little bit, but notably, we're still above 908 pretty consistently, if not all the time here on the sell side. So I do like that. The spread is not my friend. This has been literally a nail biter for me. It's so hard to trade this, but I do believe in the trade, which is why I'm still in it, which is why I took it. And I think that might matter for something. Question mark? No, I think it does. I think being confident matters. So I want to see NVIDIA continue to hold here. Right now, still confident, but the patience has always been difficult for me. So this has been a literal nail biter there. American Truther, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Clove short squeeze signal on Ortex. Kitty time. Dynamite. Take a look at Clove. Oh, okay. Right now, I'm not really seeing the shorts. I'm going to be honest with you. A little bit of a rest here at $1. Top here at 111, sort of a double top there at 111 as well. Let's take a look at the daily, see what's happening on Clove. Oh, and my chart closed. Okay. Fortunately we had that chart closer, but let's get Clover back up here. CLOV. 18 million volumes. The volume's not bad, but like I said, this 5 minute certainly a little bit chop and churn. Right now, continuing to reject off that 9 EMA. Let's take a look at the daily chart here for CLO. Okay, that's a nice pop here though. And I think also interesting on Clove here, we're trying to pop up out of that chop and churn range here.
AMC halt down.
It's not a bad look. AMC halting down there. We're going to take a look at that. Not the monthly chart. Let's look at the
7:15 halt.
7:15 halt on AMC. Wow. We fell down. We bounced off 6. This has been quite the chart there. But how are you doing there on your Amazon?
Break even at the moment. Wet my beak for 10 pennies worth of profit. Now here we go. I'm gonna try not to paper hand this trade. I see red coming in here on the tape. I'm trying to be patient. The Katina man is short 45s on GameStop right now. So let's have a look at what he's looking at there. What is the situation? Right at the 20 period, double top at 45. And yeah, he's $2.25 in the money. So shout out to the Katina man there. I love that area. Good area there for the Katina man. That was a previous halt area at that 45 general area. No, it was actually at 46 1/4. That's where the halt was. So shout out to him. Great look there for Sean. Continuing to dance with these memes and getting the better of them both on AMC and GME. Again, I want to mention, I mentioned at the top of the show, but I'm going to mention it again, Ram. We have another channel. I know a lot of you guys haven't been with us in a minute because these memes haven't been moving, but we're so happy that you joined us again. And I want to let you know that we've got another channel called More Trader TV, and this channel has Sean and Neil's positions all day long. Even when Adara and I are yapping up a storm on the midday on how to trade, you'll be able to see what Sean's trading, what Neil's trading, their entries or exit, and the like, as well as all the big movers on the day, as well as the top headlines. So make sure you're subscribed to both channels and you've got both running at the same time. Otherwise, you're gonna miss out. So you don't wanna do that, do you? And down goes Amazon. I'm really happy with this trade. Shout out to the Katina man there. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. The Katina man always good vibes. Katina, we always know about that. And we reject yesterday's closing print on the Amazon 186.60 Adara.
Yeah, so when my charts fell, unfortunately, they did get a little bit, disarrayed, but that's all good. I'm really proud of what I did with NVIDIA. We didn't take any profit, but we got out. We got out where we needed to get out. Proud of the risk management. Down in the day, still up on NVIDIA, which is honestly, something I'm really proud of because it's my first time trading NVIDIA since going live today. Yeah, today was a little bit rough. But again, though, I want to clarify. I'm really happy I got back and I kept taking opportunities I liked. Because I was at one point up in the day more than I've ever been at any point in the live. And I'm not trying to say that as a break. I'm trying to say that as I'm happy I got back in the saddle and kept going. Because you don't want to rest on your laurels, your relative laurels. Sean is short GameStop. So we're going to look at GameStop for Sean. The funds never stop with GameStop. Oh, nice look there for Sean. And I want to say too, I had 2 trades at GameStop. I had one positive trade here a little bit. Then I tried to trade it again. Didn't work out. I didn't give myself enough room, got out too early, but you know what? Still happy I took it because you want to trade things based on P&L. This is a huge thing I'm learning since going live. You want to trade it if you like it. I did like the look. It didn't work out. C'est la vie, que sera, sera. Keep on going, keep on climbing, keep on pushing. Let's take a look at AMD because that's still one. Oh, that's not on the NY, Adara. Come on now. 153.50 AMD. I tried to get involved. 152.50. Didn't get it. Well, I got it once and then it didn't work and I got out, but oh, okay, if we still reject this 152s, might take a small position, but it's probably a little bit late to the party at that point, if I'm being really honest. Yeah, now and now Sunder Pichai wants to mention their partnership with NVIDIA. Couldn't have done that earlier? No, I'm joking, all good there. Nice look there for NVDA, in the place to be. Google, how are you doing? Google. Also, we might be a little bit of surprise in the morning on the afternoon show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to say what it is, but I think something could be a little bit of a nice little cameo, perhaps, appearance on the afternoon show. So that shout out to that. But also Google, if Google bounces off this 170.60, I want to take this long.
Yeah.
I think I want to go long Google. I don't know why.
Okay, go.
But I think we're going to go long Google. And I think you have to have that conviction. You have to have that impetus. I want to watch this, bounce off this a little bit more, but I'll take 59s if we keep bouncing. If we don't, then yeah, okay, I don't want this anymore. That's why you have to make sure you have your confidence and you also have your levels. Shout out to Seanfidence. I have been talking too long. How are you doing there?
You thought I was going to. Yeah.
How are you doing over here?
Oh, good. Sorry about that. I was talking to the Katina man there. He was letting me know. He's $20 on the money total.
Okay, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, well, the Katina man was telling me, look, bro, you have the same ideas as me on the Amazon. Take more share size. That's in a nutshell. So shout out to him, and that was been my goal. I think that this chart over here, Adara, helps foreshadow the.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you read it.
I think we did kind of spoil it.
No,
but
we're good.
A certain chart that Sharif just had on his chart will kind of foreshadow. If you've seen this show, you know who you're going to see next.
What are we talking about now? AMC short? The AMC short. Here it is. The Katina man short 760 and down it goes again into 706. Is doing his darndest to stay above that level. Where are we here on AMC? Are we halted yet? No, not yet. We're 704, 705, dancing around those levels. Look out for that $7 level. A big move up off that 6 bottom, and 7 3/4 we go now, trying to hold that 7 level. We'll have to wait and see what comes of this AMC move. Very similar moves up in both GameStop and AMC, moving like the Mag 7 used to move together in 2021 and 2022. Very much similar. That's kind of the point I'm trying to make there. Both bottomed out at the same time. Both got pops off the bottom at the same time. Obviously, a little bit different levels there. Now, I want to mention SPWR because I had eyes on this earlier and I mentioned this $4 level. I didn't end up taking it because it wasn't to my liking. But look at this $4 level hold up, right? And at its worst, it went into the 200 period on the 5, which took it to double eights. So 388 LOD on SWPR right now, WR, still below the 10 and the 20 and everything. So I don't know if I want to take it off these levels. I need a curl. Show me your bottoming out, the rounded bottom. The bottoms that Kyle Burdett likes and that the NOS boss talks about. Those are the ones I want to see on my charts. And last, SPWR not showing me what I want to see right now, so I will stay put. FFIE, we traded this one nicely today. Look where this one came in, right into the volume weighted average price at that cool 20 pennies, and right up we go. 5 whole pennies. You see me joking about that, but if you position sizing enough into this, there's enough liquidity for you to make a lot of money on this name, okay? So we joke that it's super cheap, but it really doesn't matter. Oh, wow, the Future really got going here, Adara. I didn't even notice that. The Future is in an absolute state of pamp. It did hold 18.3, so it was a beautiful 18.3 hold here on the Future. And now this is putting in a rounded bottom. So when I ask for rounded bottoms, this is kind of what I'm looking at here. We hold, and then start incrementally making higher lows and higher highs to give that rounded effect. And here we go, coming into that 50-point level. We're also coming in to resistance level 1 on pivots. Not like it's featured today, but we'll always keep it up there to see what's good. Wow, Amazon just flipped the dang script. Look at that. All the way down into the 10 period and then says, it's as good as it's going to get for here, right through yesterday's print. I was just telling the Knob in the back there that I was shorting Amazon off yesterday's print, and he was like, yeah, that's a level.
He approved?
He approved. He also approved of your short.
He did?
And he knew about your short at 186. Yes, he did approve. He gave the authorization.
We had the OB authorization from the Amazonian himself. Also, in case you are confused if the Amazonian refers to OB or Amazon, I've asked Sharif, it's interchangeable. Sometimes it's OB, sometimes it's Amazon.
Exactly.
But yeah, shout out. Happy to hear that level was approved. And again, that was a level I liked, but shout out to Kyle Burdett for pointing out when it hit, so I was happy to take it. Rob, sorry, you keep going though.
Yeah, no worries. The other thing that I want to mention is I was looking at the softy level, same kind of move with Amazon, this 413.75. That was yesterday's closing print. It featured today as a level of support earlier at 1050 and 11. So I was inclined to actually try to use it again as a level of resistance. It didn't even hold up. It didn't even stop at that level. Blew through it, blew through the whole dollar level, and now someone's calling me. We're gonna have to.
How dare they?
Yeah, I know, right? Everybody knows I'm on the show at this time. Anybody who knows me, anyway. So anyway, breaking through that yesterday closing print and breaking through the whole dollar level. So that trade on Softy, in my opinion, no longer valid. It had to have held up at those levels for me to be interested. It didn't. The dead one is awakening now. So the dead one had been kind of dead all day. Now we get three larger-ish looking candles that are all green, and now we're knocking on the 187 level again. I could be absolutely inclined to take this if it breaks and holds. Number one, above that 187. Oh, here we go. Infinite Sean. 187 level has been a level all day on AAPL. But don't forget about this bamboozling candle over here at 11:15. This one had you thinking that we were going to move and break above the volume weighted average price, but alas, you got shafted if you did that because it absolutely tanked off that level. So I need something on a closing basis, not a wick basis. We'll wait for 187 to break and hold, and as well as VWAP, because I'm not trading this south of the volume weighted average price. If the dead one goes here, we'll absolutely trade it. I have no qualms about that. What else we got going on? Have you seen this 910 level on NVIDIA? It's oh, so you know all about that level. Okay. Oh, you've got it already up. So now I know why you got excited there.
Yeah, so I want to clarify, I'm happy with how I dealt with this earlier trade. I want to clarify, don't love where I got in. I should have waited initially for that last long I tried to take it, 908.45, should have waited for the 908s. But I'm happy with how I risk managed it. You know what I mean? No skin off my back, well, some, but like happy with what you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. And I couldn't have stayed in either because I would have definitely been panicking if we got to 906, right? You have to do what works for you. So I want to clarify. Why I want to get back in though is if we're going to keep bouncing off VWAP, someone wants to get involved in that, I almost said Cybertruck, this is not Tesla, but that's what I want to get involved in, right? So that's the look I like. Hopefully we do get that. I don't think we're getting that in NVDA, but you know, if NVIDIA, if you want to let me in, I'm not chasing you anymore. I'm going to play hard to get at 908.01s. Holla at me. This Robinhood short, I didn't mind it, and I want to say why I didn't mind it. In retrospect, we did have a bit of a double bottom there, but I took the short because we were ducking below that 90 MA, had a little bit of a hard time here getting up, getting moving, getting going above 1790s, took it short, was going to risk into 18s, but I didn't like what I was seeing, so I said to Dara, you don't want this, get out. I got long NVIDIA here, so we'll have to see if this goes. Sorry, it wasn't 908.05s, it was 908.25s. I'm still happy with that. I want my 909s. Shout out to Vicky and Novak. I know you were looking at this earlier in the chat. If you are, hope you're printing. Shout out to you. We're going to have to see how my NVDA goes. He's already on my side chart, but I want the book on my side chart in case I need to get out of here in a hurry. If we break decisively below 907.50s, I want out. But as you alluded to, I want the 910s. I got it. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. And I do like that 910 level. I hope you absolutely print on that as always. Because that's kind of how it works around here. I'm still staring at this $4 level on SPWR. Call me crazy because it dipped again and broke down again, but it's not really breaking down below the level that you would expect it to do, like a flat bottom break or anything like that. So I'm going to continue to say that this trade may be valid. But I'm not going to go ahead and take it. It's got to prove to me that it's going to curl above 4. If it doesn't, I won't take it. Gorev, Amazon is now trying to respect yesterday's closing print coming down? Question mark? Let's have a look. Let's close off here and move back into big tech. Okay, so here is the Amazon. All right, so yeah, look, Gorev, I mean, even though it did break down below that 186.60, the higher highs and higher lows are still in effect. I would look for a possible dip into 186. Now, I don't know if you're a long, Gorev, because if you're long already at these levels, it may affect what I'm about to say. I'm going to be looking for a 186 hold here if we reject off this 186.69. Reason being is quite simple. We know for a fact 186 was a top. Adara had a 6 short on it. And the big Kyle Burdett as well had a 6 short on it. And then we ranged on 186 for, I don't know, how long we were there. 12:45 till the break till around 1:15. So half an hour worth of 186 being a top. So if that's a level of initial resistance, I want to see if it acts as support now.
So if it comes back into 186, I'm going to be buying. Depending, so I should put a caveat in that. Really depending on what the market's doing. If we've given up 18.3 on the market, I'm not going along. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on 186, but it may not even break the 10 period because we're still putting in higher lows and higher highs. So shout out to Gorev. Let me know how you do on that, brother. And I hope you print. AMC halted again, says Peter. Let's have a look at AMC. Is it halted? It's not halted. Oh. It's not halted, dude. It's printing 662s. It's down 41.5% since the bell, but it's still active. So is GameStop. They're both still active at the moment. We'll keep eyes on both for you guys. All right, Faraday futures starting to curl back up here. So putting in that roundy bottom that the NOS boss always talks about. There it is. See the curl getting it on the back end. This is what I mean when I use these curling back end expressions. This is kind of what I'm thinking about here. Higher lows, higher highs, showing that the bottom is in, and now we're going to start curling and making that rounded bottom shape. This is what I'm looking at here. So Faraday knocking the door at 27. It initially used 27 as a local area of support. Now seems to be acting as a resistance. Let's see if we can break through that 27 penny area. Adera.
Sharif. I tried.
8 minutes left on the show.
How? Only 8 minutes left. This has been a crazy day. I'm so happy today. Had my first positive trade with the GME. Still my weakest name of the day, but happy I had a positive trade on it. Took trades I liked. Also, NVIDIA, looking at this again, I like that we have this double bottom at 906. Gives me even more confidence. And Confluence, shout out to our mystery, who's no longer a mystery person you're going to be seeing on the afternoon show. You definitely know who it is if you've seen the show based on that. But let's take a look here at Clove, Nacho, some other people. What is Super Chat looking at Clove earlier? I don't know. Like I said, I still think, given the volume on this, if this was going to squeeze, I think it would squoze. That was, I used a word choice, but I think the fact that we are continuing to build the 90 MA is not a look that I think is a great look. Also, if you look at these volume pops we have here, they're going to be to the downside. I think we have a little bit of selling strength right now here in Clove. Unfortunately, I don't think this Clover is green. We're up on the day, but if you look at that wick here up to 114, we gave up the vast majority of that ghost there. We had a little bit of an exorcism in this chart, unfortunately. So I hope no one is stuck in that. I'm sorry, Sharif, I shouldn't have done that while you had a drink of water. But I never know what's going to make you laugh.
It's funny.
I really never know what you're going to react to.
It's funny.
I do what I got to do. But yeah, so let's see here. If we, like I said, I think that 105 area at the top is kind of interesting if we break above that in Clove. But it looks like the luck in Clove, unfortunately, may be over for now. Hopefully it's not, though, for people in this name.
Remember what I told you about today? I'm not going to the gym. I'm not doing any work. I'm going straight home.
Because?
Because Arsenal's most hated rival is playing against Arsenal's competitor for the league. So all of a sudden, I am the biggest possible Tottenham Hotspur fan ever in the history. I'm going to be wearing white and navy blue. I'll be singing when the Saints come marching in. I'll do what I have to do for Tottenham to beat City today. It's going to be on at 3 o'clock, 1 hour and 6 minutes. I cannot wait for that. It's not a make or break moment for Arsenal, but if City lose or tie here, advantage Arsenal, and we go to the weekend, baby, and it's anybody's game, anybody's guess. We're going to take it to the final week anyway, as I told you yesterday. But I'm so excited for today's game, as I was excited for today's trading session, man. It's been one hell of a day on these here markets today, thanks to these meme stocks. We got a lot of our viewers back. I haven't seen some of you guys in a long time. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you, the Piper. I'm a tart, apparently, according to him. I don't know what that means, if it's bad in British or whatever. I like Pop-Tarts, though. Do you like Pop-Tarts?
I like rhubarb tarts.
Oh, rhubarb pie. Have you ever had rhubarb pie?
Maybe.
You know that the skin is poisonous on rhubarb?
I do know that because I grew up, my mom was like always gardening growing up. She was always like, you can't eat the skin on the rhubarb. So I did know that. Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Charlie Taft. Love you as well, brother. Benton C. Come on, you Gunners. I hope you'll be watching today. Benton, 2 New York cents. I'm a Spurs fan, so let's go. Yeah, I'm cheering for you guys today, man. But City, Pep was, okay, you know Pep.
Yeah, Pep Guardiola.
Exactly.
He was actually on Ted
I love
Lasso
that. I
as
can do that.
himself.
Does he actually play
Yeah,
in the movie?
in one episode, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he was going on a rant about how other teams are spending money. Tell me why this guy has 110 charges on his team for overspending and breaching financial fair play regulations, and this guy's throwing stones about other teams spending money. Bro, calm down.
110, like 100.
110 different charges from the Football Association.
That's obscene.
Yeah, it is obscene.
That's in a word, obscene.
I love it. 5 minutes left on the show, guys. What are you guys looking at? Oh, sorry, dude. I didn't see about your Uber question. I'm so sorry. Let's have a look at your Uber. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry about that, but I will look at Uber for you, regardless of whether I can pronounce your name or not. Why are you laughing, Ram? Tell me.
Oh,
she won't do
so
it.
withholding.
Yeah, I know. Ram's in a mood today. Jeez. All right, let's have a look at Uber.
Shout out to Ramin.
Love Ram. All right, what are we doing here on Uber today? Let me just pull it up on the side. Take out Duolingo, UBER. And yeah, so we're down 1.2% on the ride-hailing company. Let's zoom out a little bit here because I know we reported and we didn't do that well after the report. So where are we? So the flat bottom at 64 holds up. We reject off the 50 period here on the hourly. That was pretty clear, 68 bucks. Double top rejection off the 50 period on the 1 hour chart. And it's been incrementally lower lows and lower highs. I would say look for support at 64. That's on a wider time frame. Intraday, you have support at the lows. 64.75 featured yesterday as the low. We dipped a little bit below that. I think we got to 64.71. So essentially a double bottom. This area holds up. But look at this. From yesterday's high to today's high, it's a lower high with the same low. So not a good look. It could end up being that we sell off on Uber to make that lower low because we haven't made a lower low from yesterday. We're still ensconced within the price action of yesterday. So look, Uber, it's been a sell since the earnings, but you know I like this company long term. For whatever reason, they lost money. This time around, they weren't able to turn a profit. Prior to that, it had been 3 profitable quarters in a row. Yeah, so that's my look on Uber.
Thank you for giving that look on Uber. That reminds me as well, I don't know if you've ever seen Shark Tank, but there's that one guest shark. His first name's Chris, and he always wears like the cowboy hat. But his whole thing is like, oh, when I invested in Uber, when I got involved in Uber. So I was just thinking about that guy, wouldn't you? Because he was like one of the early Uber investors.
Oh, Calcanis?
No, Chris something. He's on Shark Tank a lot, and he has like cowboy hats.
Oh, I just thought you were talking about Calcanis because anytime that guy gets that chance to mention Uber, you see how Altman trolled him? He's like, oh, I haven't heard this story before. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, shout out to our world's greatest moderator there, Bears versus Bulls. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Sorry.
Yeah, this was not my greatest day. It was at one point earlier today, my greatest day P&L wise. And then, you know what? I didn't want to stop trading because there were things I still liked. You know what I mean? So I'm still happy I took the trades. But you know what? I'm always ready to brush that dirt off my shoulders, get ready, do it again today. Wish I lost less than I did today. Unfortunately, we are down on the day, but I am so bullish positivity. And maybe that sounds, wishy-washy, whatever, but I think you have to have a reason to get up, get out of bed, and keep trading. And I think that's valid as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to mention, guys, PROK, even though it started curling back down, it got that 4 hold, even though the wicks took it well below 4. Here we go again, now curling a little bit. PROK, 33%, heavily shorted name, likely why it's running, guys. No catalyst for this one. Be careful with it. Make sure the liquidity is there before you start trading this. We got about a minute left on the show. I hope everybody joins us again tomorrow because you know what? These memes, they hang out. Don't think just because today they had a sell day that it's over. This stuff typically has a way of catching you off guard, and Neil was telling us about that this morning.
Yeah, he was saying, basically what he said to me, like right when I first got in, he said, they're irrational. That's
Absolutely.
the biggest thing he said, and I think that was how I should have been trading them. But you know what? It's all good. I don't think we've memed the last of them yet.
We need a pun button. Anytime you drop a pun, I'm going to be smashing that button.
People are going to be sick of that button.
Yeah,
People are already sick of the puns.
No. She said to break the stream deck. She's coming at you hard today. She's coming at both of us hard.
She's... Stop. Shout out to, I put in the fan, I put in the chat, we're all Ram fans here.
Oh.
We are. Shout out to Ramin, shout out to Fabian, shout out to Brendan. We're going to see you guys tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, and video. You couldn't have done this pop-up earlier, but we'll see you tomorrow. Brendan's at the big desk, and Sean has a special guest there, so we'll see you guys.
See you guys later.
Hey guys, yeah, welcome in. 2 o'clock on quite the afternoon here. A lot to talk about, a lot to keep an eye on this afternoon as we head into the final 2 hours of the day. This Google